The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Have the New York Jets embraced a new team-building philosophy? We will talk about that with Matt O'Leary and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Thursday. Major breaking news for every Asmaniac out there. I was able to partner up with the Jets fan club in Tampa Bay. We have some group ticket buy options for Week 3 Jets Bucks. I posted all the info on Patreon and Discord. It's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Included in your membership is priority access to events like this one. So if you want to sit with a bunch of Asmaniacs, a bunch of diehard Jet fans in Tampa at the cheapest rate you'll find, go quickly. Space is limited. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Also, we'll have info on the hotel group rate that will be first come, first serve. So we'll prioritize the Patreon folks, and then we'll share the link with the general public after that. But if you want to sit with fellow Jet fans at a discounted rate, please join the Patreon immediately. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join the Discord. Check the game day meetup tab for Week 3 and all the info for the Jets and the Bucks, including our happy hour party the day before and our game day morning tailgate. That will all be there for you to consume and find out all the info you need to know. With that said, let's say hello to a guy that we love around these parts. He is the great Matt O'Leary, and make sure you subscribe to Matt's channel, Matt O'Leary NY. Matt, happy Thursday. Appreciate you hopping on as always.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to come on and talk some Jets football with you.
So Jets have OTAs later today that are open for the media to watch. So we'll get, another press conference or two from several players. Both coordinators are supposed to speak today. So I'm very curious to see what both Engstrand and Wilkes have to say. Plus another opportunity to see Justin Fields and this offense. So that will be the focus on my channel this afternoon. As far as our conversation, Matt, I want to play a clip from an episode of Badlands where Connor Rogers made the point that the New York Jets are perhaps trying to do something a little different with Aaron Glenn now in charge.
The Jets have been savior chasing for years, just like the Knicks did. And they missed all the time. Sanchez isn't an example of this, but after Sanchez, they've been savior chasing. They took Darnold, and he couldn't save
Traded
him.
up for Darnold.
Traded up for Darnold.
Yeah.
They couldn't save him. Drafted Zach Wilson. He couldn't save them. Gave Aaron Rodgers everything he could ever want. He couldn't save them. The Jets never built a team or put a sustainable scheme and coaching staff in place. They never did it. Aaron Glenn is trying something different than what the previous regimes for so long have done and failed with. The Jets are trying to build an infrastructure that is in place and humming, that when a quarterback gets here, he is brought into the infrastructure, not that he is the infrastructure.
Your thoughts on that, Matt? Is that a fair depiction of what you believe Aaron Glenn is trying to establish in year one?
Yeah, I really hope so, right? Because I think Connor brings up a really good point when the Jets have tried, whether going out and getting Aaron Rodgers or drafting Sam Darnold or drafting Zach Wilson. It was kind of like, all right, with either the rookies like come in and save us, kid, or Aaron Rodgers like, please bring us from the depths of hell and have success here. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, none of the three worked out for the New York Jets. And oftentimes it feels like they have to toss their rookie quarterbacks right into the mix. And with how they structured this Justin Fields contract, if the Jets do decide to draft a quarterback in 2026, which, let's be honest, I think that's probably the most likely scenario that happens here. They have a situation where they can play Justin Fields at least either for the full year, to start the year, whatever it is, but you're not putting that ton of pressure on a rookie quarterback to step in and be the guy right away, because we've seen that story before, and unfortunately it just hasn't worked out.
And I think ultimately they would have taken a quarterback if they believed someone made sense at number 7. I think it's easy to say, well, we're trying to build it a different way now, build up the infrastructure, but let's not forget, Robert Saleh told Zach Wilson on the phone the night they drafted him, hey, this organization's going to lift you up, not the other way around. So, like, you could say this, now you actually have to do it, right? Like, I think it sounds good in theory, and I do agree, like, that's what they're trying to do. But they tried to do the same thing with Zach Wilson, and honestly, you could argue they did in a lot of areas, right? They got him weapons. They gave him the number 3 defense in the league. They obviously gave him an elite kicker that couldn't miss, which is why they were able to win 7 games with Wilson, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian playing quarterback after Rodgers got hurt 4 plays in 2023. So the coaching has never been there, and that's the big question now with Aaron Glenn and this staff, right? There's been pockets of like good defensive moments or good coaching here or there, but we have not had a real head coach and certainly a real offensive staff. So I think they're saying the right thing. They're seemingly doing the right thing, but I don't think this is the first time they've necessarily tried this. They tried it with Zach Wilson. They told Zach Wilson that on the phone. They just weren't good enough at executing that vision.
Exactly. The plan wasn't really in place. You could even say that Joe Douglas said the same thing to Sam Darnold, right? Didn't he tell his family that they were going to build up the offensive line and protect him? And unfortunately, that didn't go well either. But you brought up a really good point in looking at the coaching staff. I think that's going to be the most important thing, is if Tanner Engstrand is as good of an offensive mind as a lot of people believe, then I think, whoever the next quarterback is, or even with Justin Fields, if we want to play that game, that they're going to develop him and he'll be the next, Baker Mayfield like resurgence. Well, it's going to be, a lot of it's going to go on the coaching staff. And, luckily, I think this is the best offensive line that any of the quarterbacks that we've seen in recent years come in and work with. So I think that's going to go a long way. And from a weapons perspective, Garrett and Brees is solid. They need more at the wide receiver room, but I think, in potentially another year's time, they can continue to add to those rooms and make the roster better.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Matt O'Leary. What we like to do on this channel is surprise folks with a daily raffle opportunity. So our raffle prizes this week include a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey, a signed Joe Namath jersey, and a signed CJ Mosley jersey. But in honor of Jets OTAs resuming today with the media in attendance, at the end of the show, I'm giving away a signed Breece Hall trading card. So if you want the Breece Hall card, gift the membership to be entered or send in the required super chat of $10 or more for how many raffle entries that you want, and I'll add your name to the list. We'll spin the wheel at the end of the show, and one of you will walk away with a Breece Hall trading card. That's a daily raffle prize, and if you enter for the Breece card, you're entered in our weekly prizes for the big stuff, the Clyde, Namath, and Mosley autographed jersey. So a little daily raffle prize here on a Thursday where the Jets are going to be out there on the field with the media in attendance. You look at what they have done to this point, Matt. What have been your thoughts on the comments that have been made by the players about Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff? Are you encouraged when you hear a guy like Quinnen, who was certainly upset with what he thought the direction of the team was going to be, and now coming back and saying, hey, I was wrong. I really like this staff. I think they got a great plan. Like, what do you make of a comment like that? Garrett Wilson now saying he wants to be a Jet for life. Just your thoughts on the seeming buy-in that we're getting so far from the players.
Yeah, I think it's great. The Quinnen Williams comment from last week, I think, stood out to me the most with, him kind of taking some accountability, right? And saying, look, I overreacted. That wasn't the right way to go about it. And, he walked it back. And I thought that was very mature of him. And, he's a team captain. And I thought he handled it like a captain should. And, he spoke about the staff and Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. And I think we are going to see a lot of buy-in from players with Aaron Glenn. He's a former player. He's obviously very intense, which is something that I really like about him, but I think players can get behind that as well. And, I think for the captains to be the one to show the buy-in is going to get everyone else to kind of follow suit. In a locker room, usually there's a bunch of leaders, and whatever they do, that kind of, it trickles down to the rest of the roster. So for a guy like Quinnen to walk those comments back and be like, yeah, you know what, I see the vision, and I regret doing that. And then you see Garrett Wilson saying he wants to be a Jet for life. Good. I hope they give him a contract in the next few weeks and make that happen. So I love the comments that we've seen so far from the players.
How about the fact that you had Ben Solak of ESPN predicting Garrett Wilson to lead the league in receiving yards? Imagine that.
That would be something. It would be probably like a 1,800 yard season. I don't know if he gets up that high. I'd be pretty happy with 1,200 plus. But that would be just truly phenomenal. We haven't seen a Jets wide receiver season since, I don't know what, Brandon Marshall, 2015 was probably the last one.
And what's amazing is the Marshall season was so great and unlike anything we've experienced as Jet fans. Yet, if you look at the last 5 years, the amount of yardage that you need to actually lead the NFL in that category, there's still about 250, 300 yards off from what the average has been the last 5 years of what you have to do to win that category, just to put in some context on just how insane it would be for a Jet player to actually accomplish what an analyst is predicting Garrett to be able to do.
Yeah, and I think the quarterback play is going to have a big factor in that, obviously. But I would imagine the Jets are not going to be top 5 in passing attempts like they were a year ago, and they're not going to be last in the league in rushing attempts. Those numbers are probably going to be flipped or closer to flipped, with them being one of the top rushing teams in the league. So I think it would be hard for Garrett Wilson to get up that high, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to have a productive season, or maybe even one of his better seasons. You look at what DJ Moore did with Justin Fields. He went for nearly 1,400 yards. So it's not impossible for a receiver to have production with a guy like Justin Fields at his quarterback or as his quarterback, but leading the league, that's bold. I love it. I hope Ben's right.
I showed you a graphic on the show the last couple days when we got, the rumblings of some sort of competition at center. You compared Joe Tippmann's numbers last year to Josh Myers' numbers last year with the Packers. It's not even close. Are you buying this competition at center?
Not really. The only thing is maybe they just want to give the illusion of the competition to Joe Tippmann to push him. But if you look at it either at the numbers or watch the film, to me, it's not even close. I think, Joe Tippmann's an ascending player. I thought he ended up being a top half of the league starting center a year ago, which is great. I think that's a win for finding a guy like that in the second round. Myers has a lot of starting experience in Green Bay. He was Justin Fields' center in college. But if you look at how he played in Green Bay, he was a fringe starter to me. So fine as depth, obviously, as a backup, but I don't think there's any world where he's better than Joe Tippmann and should be starting over Joe Tippmann. So I don't know how much of a real competition this is going to end up being.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you missed the announcement just before, end of the show, you see this signed Breece Hall trading card right here? I'm giving it away to one lucky ASMANIACS. So enter the daily raffle, and then you're also entered in our weekly raffle. So giving away a signed Breece card. I'll mail it out to you today because I got some giveaway prizes to send off after the show. So if you want a chance to win, get the membership for your chance to be entered. I want to play you a clip from yesterday's Get Up. You'll have to ignore Dan Graziano's face that ESPN, I guess, fell asleep and forgot to switch over to Louis Riddick on camera here. But this was Louis Riddick being asked about Justin Fields. You'll hear his take, Matt, and then I want your thoughts on if you think Justin Fields is capable of doing what Louis Riddick thinks he absolutely can.
If I were to say, and perhaps I would say it hopefully, Justin Fields is going to have a career year in 2025. Is that ridiculous?
Not ridiculous at all. Again, Greeny, look, this offensive line in New York, which is where it all starts for these young quarterbacks. They got 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick on this offensive line. They've got to be better. They've got to establish the run, especially with the running backs that they have as well. And look, Tanner Engstrand, the new offensive coordinator, and we said it before, it's staring him right in the face as far as what, philosophically the approach should be for this team. Quarterback run, feature the running backs, lean on this offensive line, play action pass. So could Justin Fields have a career year which would primarily be comprised of 20-plus touchdown passes, 3K plus in passing yards, 800 plus in rushing yards? I absolutely could see it happening. And that would be a career year for him. I don't see why, if this team stays on the field in terms of everyone staying healthy, that Justin can't have that kind of year.
I mean, your thoughts. Can he have that kind of year?
Yeah, it's really not asking a lot, to be honest with you. And I think he's going to be a hard evaluation because of the rushing ability that he brings, and how maybe infrequent compared to other quarterbacks that he's going to throw the ball. But for me, I'm looking at the 20 passing touchdowns. I think is fair. My number was 30 combined touchdowns, passing and rushing. So whether that's like, I don't know, 22 and 8 or however you get there, and over 4,000 yards, both passing and rushing. So I don't know, 3,200 and another 800 rushing, however that is. Those are some benchmarks I would like to see him hit. I don't think it's ridiculous. He has gotten better year over year. Now, that's not to say that he's looked like a franchise quarterback yet. I don't think that's a fair evaluation, but he has improved. I think, we'd like to see his completion percentage continue to go up. I'd like to see him take some more shots down the field with his arm. And I'd like to see him be a little bit more consistent passing over the middle of the field. Those are some things I'm looking for, in addition to seeing the numbers continue to rise.
I'll tell you what, if he puts up those numbers, though, I was talking about this yesterday. I think this team can win 9 or 10 games. Like that's my hesitation. Like I think the coaching would definitely be better if Fields is putting up those numbers. I'd imagine if he's putting up those numbers, that means the O-line is as legit as we think it should be. And I think the defense is going to bounce back. I'm way more confident in the defense being good this year than I am the Jets offense. That's just how I am as a Jet fan right now. Way more experience on that side of the coaching staff, just better, more proven players on that side of the ball. If Fields does that, this team is playing meaningful games in December. I have zero doubts. At the bare minimum, they're doing that.
Right. And I think if you're trying to find the path to how do they get to 9 wins or how do they get to the 7 seed, it's Justin Fields having a year like that. If unfortunately we see him have some of the same issues that he had in Chicago and that they have to go to Tyrod Taylor for a few games and they sit Justin Fields down, then maybe that's where you're looking at like a 6 or 7 win total. But I think there's a wide variance of what this team could be. I think they land probably somewhere in the middle, but I don't think it's crazy to say that there's a path where they can win 9 or 10 games. If they do, a lot of it's going to fall on Justin Fields and his development as, the quarterback, as we know, the most important position.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Giving away a signed Breece Hall card at the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first participant in the daily raffle. In for 5 raffle tickets is Jamal, who gifted 5 channel memberships. If you hear your name, you thank Jamal for gifting you the membership. Quick Dolo, Charlie Gadsden, 3MC, Joe Rano, and Gil all receiving channel memberships there. In for 2 with a $10 super chat is Stevie DMNGZ, who says, buying my plane ticket to New York soon for the home opener. My first Jets home game. Just need to get my place to stay in a game ticket. Is Charles' couch listed on Airbnb yet? Steven, that is an excellent question. Next time the Charles Gorman calls in, someone in the chat, please remind me to ask Charles if Stephen DMNGZ has permission to rent out the Gorman apartment for his experience going to his first ever Jets game.
I love that. We're trying to do the Talking Jets outing is trying to be week 1. We haven't secured the tickets yet. I believe June 9th is when we are able to get our group outing tickets. So if Steve's looking for a ticket, if you hold out for another week or so, you might be able to come and sit with us in the Talking Jets crew.
How about that? And I highly recommend it. Those guys are awesome. Matt, Green Bean, Ryan. Is Jets Chaos making the trip? Jeremy making?
Of course, Jeremy's making the trip.
Love it. Ralphie checks in with a super chat. And Ralphie, your Anthony Beck jersey will be mailed out later today, and you have a chance now to win the Breece Hall card as well. How do you feel about Ruckert making progress with the Fields reunion? I feel 12 personnel suits our roster. Ralphie in for 5 in our daily raffle here. I don't really have a ton of expectations for Jeremy Ruckert. I think there's a reason why they use such a high premium pick 42 overall on a tight end. It'd be nice if he's productive, if he could be a serviceable, backup tight end. To me, what I've been so disappointed about with Ruckert is not that he hasn't really given you much as an offensive player. His blocking, I thought, was really good as a rookie, and I don't know what happened to that guy. It feels like we haven't seen that guy since his rookie year.
Yeah, he's really taken a step back, especially last year. He was not very good as a blocker, which was his strength, at least for the first couple of years he's come into the league. If he can get back to what he looked like his first 2 years as a blocker and maybe give you a little bit more as a pass catcher and not so many drops, then I'm totally fine with him being tight end 2 on this roster. And I think Mason Taylor is going to obviously be the starter there. But I don't know. I don't have crazy high expectations for him. It'd be nice, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, I mean, we're rooting for him. It's a great story, but unfortunately, his roster spot, I would say, is not even necessarily fully guaranteed. Like, I think he'll be on the team, but I don't think it's a lock he's on the team. Like, I do think he's got to show them something this summer in training camp.
100%. And they didn't draft him too. Like a lot of these guys who, are recent draft picks, they don't have any ties to this new regime. So we might see some, fan favorites. And I guess, you can maybe toss Ruckert in that boat because of the history of him as a Jet fan and the Long Island connection and all that stuff. There's not a guarantee that their roster spot is going to be there. They're going to have to earn it like everybody else.
Evan J. Williams is in the daily raffle for the signed Brees Hall trading card for one. Appreciate you, Evan. Justin Fields had 2,600 yards and 17 touchdowns over 12 starts in his last year in Chicago and had 1,100 passing yards over 6 starts last year in Pittsburgh. It's not far-fetched that his numbers will hit Lewis's predictions. It's not crazy. I think a big part of it is just how run-oriented are the Jets going to be, right? Like, we think they're going to try and run the hell out of the football. They should. Does Fields stay healthy if that's their offensive game plan? Also, on paper, this O-line's really good. We've been burnt before with that thought process. See the last 2 years of Jets football. So I would love to see this offensive line truly be dominant in a way we have not seen in at least a decade, if not really going back to the Rex teams in 2009 and 2010. So that, to me, is what it comes down to. If they have the O-line figured out, I could see Fields reaching those numbers. I think so much of it, though, comes down to the 5 guys up front blocking for him.
Yeah, the offensive line is definitely going to play a huge factor in it. And when you just look at Fields' 4 years in the league, he's never started 17 games. So it's not like we can point to this year and say, oh, well, see, he had, 3,200 yards that year. A lot of it's projection and looking at, individual sample sizes of different seasons and saying, oh, well, in his 13 starts 2 years ago, he threw for 197 yards. If you project that over 17, a lot of it's a guessing game. So I don't know if we're going to get 17 from Fields. I hope we do. That'd be great. But as Evan says, it's not really all that far-fetched. If he is playing all 17 games, those are reasonable expectations to see.
JT with an Asmaniac super chat says, do you think Carter ruined Jeremy Ruckert's development at all? This would be Keith Carter, the O-line coach.
I don't know. I don't like Keith Carter, but I don't know if that's fair to say that he wasn't his positional, coach. I think that would have to go more to, oh my God, what's his name? I'm blanking out on it.
Rod Middleton.
Rod Middleton. If you want to hit, everyone wants to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. What was the line? Something like that, right?
Everybody want to go to heaven, but not everybody wants to die.
Yeah, there we go. I would put it more on Middleton than I would Keith Carter, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, more super chats here. The great Bo C checks in. I feel like by game 3, we will know exactly what we have as a team in QB. If we can learn quickly how to play together, I see great things. It might take longer than that, Bo. We're talking about a first-year staff, new quarterback, a lot of new players on the roster. I mean, teams don't typically peak towards the latter part of the season, middle part of the season. The Eagles were 2-2 last year, and Philly radio was entertaining Fire Nick Sirianni topics seemingly every week. So that's just kind of how it goes. It's why I think if you look at the Jets' schedule, Matt, while there's some really difficult games early, especially, week 2 against the Bills and having to go on the road in Florida back-to-back weeks to Tampa and then Miami. But if you're going to play good teams, you could argue you're almost better off playing them early in the year before they figure it out and assume to be the team we all think they're going to be later in the year.
Yeah, that's true. And you look at teams like Kansas City, they always feel like they have a weird loss early in the year, and then they rattle off like 10 straight wins to close.
Like New England would do every year, too.
Yeah, right. They started 2-2, and then, the talking points on ESPN were, is this the end of the Brady and Belichick era? And then they finished the season, 12-4 every year. Like, that's just how it went. So I'm with you. I think it would be better to get, I would have loved to get Baltimore maybe a little bit earlier. Them in week 12 is probably not ideal. But to go to Bo's comment here, I don't know if we're going to have our answer in by week 3. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see some ups and downs. I don't think it's going to be a straight line progression. I think there'll be some weeks where we love Justin Fields and it looks like he's the long-term answer. And I think there might be a week where, the turnovers are there and the completion percentage is way low. That's, the unfortunate part about having a guy who has a lot of high variance at that position.
No doubt. And I think ultimately what the Jets need to do is survive the first part of their schedule. Like you see it up there on the screen. Like realistically, it's not going to be easy, but this was a team a few years ago, for example, that actually started, 4-3 before it all fell apart. And then you see like the well-coached teams, the actual good teams, they get better as the year goes on. They don't collapse. They put it together and play well. And the Jets obviously collapsed in 2022 when they were 6-3, 7-4. Collapsed in 2023 after they started 4-3. The Jets need to survive the first 8 games of the year, get to the bye in striking distance, and hope that after the bye, this coaching staff is the real deal, and this team could stay reasonably healthy. And then with the schedule seemingly softer now, but we know how that goes. You never truly know. Take advantage and win some games down the stretch and show some real improvement. But if you start 1-7 or, you start 2-6, you're burying yourself. At the bare minimum, they got to be around, to me, 3-5. Ideally 4-4. That might be asking for too much, though. I don't know.
Yeah, in my way too early predictions, I have them at 3-5 going into the bye. But like you said, if they could be 4-4, which I don't think is a crazy prediction, you never know. Maybe you steal one from Tampa Bay, or you catch Buffalo sleeping, or whatever. I think if they're 4-4 going into the bye, coming out with a winnable game against Cleveland at home, you get to over 500, then you're feeling pretty good if you're 5-4 at that point. And yeah, there's still some tough games. Like New England on a short week is going to be tough. At Baltimore is tough. Close the season at Buffalo. I'm not saying that there's not tough games in the second half of the schedule, but you'll feel a lot better about yourself. And confidence is a big thing in the NFL, and you ride the momentum. And unfortunately, we saw that in the other direction in the seasons where you mentioned the collapses in 22 and 23. Hopefully this coaching staff can keep them together.
Adam says 0-4 is possible, and we have to not. If they start 0-4, I'm going to be very angry and go ballistic. So no, 0-4, there is reason to panic. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, you can't start the season 0-4, and I get it. Like they're tough games, but you're digging yourself too big of a hole at that point. It's kind of like the Jets last year when what were they to start the year 3-5, 3-6, and we were trying to talk ourselves into them rattling off 8 wins in a row. It's hard to do in the NFL. So they gotta. To me, I think you got to start the year 2-2 is what I'd like to see.
Yeah, 2-2 would be great. More likely, it's probably 1-3. But hey, can that one game at least that they win? Maybe be week 1, so at least it buys this new regime a little time, a little bit, or if they're going to lose the first 2 and start 1-3, can they win the game that I'm going to down in Tampa? That'd be nice.
For our sake, I hope it's week 1 and week 3, the games that they win.
Yeah, 2-2. We'll take that. I'm in. Christian says, I'll never forget having my mom call my work with a fake medical emergency so I could watch us draft Darnold. We deserve a Fields breakout season. Christian, I'm going to take you at face value. You've been a channel member for 11 months. I'm giving you a raffle entry for that super chat because that is awesome. I'm putting Christian in the raffle for that. That is a great story. I love it. True passion. I was so excited the night they took Darnold. I remember I watched it with all my friends. It truly felt like the Jets finally got a break with Baker going 1, the Giants taking Barkley, a running back, number 2. It truly felt like, wow, the Jets actually got a break from the football gods. That here's a guy that everyone thought was the number 1 pick. The Jets were tanking for, supposedly. They win too many games. They trade up from 6-3, not knowing what quarterback was even going to be there. And wow, it's the guy they wanted all along. And it's so sad that it went the way it did.
Yeah, I was really excited for it too, because that offseason, when they had the 6th pick and then the 3rd pick, I didn't really do a lot of digging on Sam Darnold because I didn't think he was going to be there. Obviously, I knew him from USC, but I was breaking down, Rosen and Mayfield and Allen and Lamar and talking about all those different options. I didn't think there was a chance Darnold was going to make it to 3. And you're right. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way we wanted it to, but was very excited at the time.
Yep. We'll never forget the feeling of, holy crap, they actually took Saquon Barkley. Wow, Darnold's going to be there. Just going nuts. And then even Darnold's first game, like that feeling after he threw the pick 6, being like, you got to be like, here comes another nationally televised Jet nightmare. But then when they won that game, I truly felt like, wow, like we might have the guy. Like it feels different. Like, holy crap, like he was awesome. They win this game. And it was obviously short-lived, but like this, I really, like I always root for Sam because I think he was set up to fail ultimately with Gase and all the poor roster moves around him. But Sam truly felt like the guy. I think most Jet fans felt that way. Whereas with Zach Wilson, while there certainly were people who were big supporters of his, probably still are, it was way more split on the quarterback they were supposed to take that year. I think ultimately more fans came around to Zach and were cool with it. But Like I remember there was like universal love for Darnold, whereas with Wilson, it was a lot more split.
Yeah, because there was debate, right? Like you had people who wanted to keep Sam, you had people who wanted
Right.
Justin Fields, you had people who wanted Zach, and to be honest, I liked Zach, and I wanted him to be the pick. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. The only really moment that you could think of is maybe that Tennessee game where he had that crazy throw to Corey Davis, and I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe we have something here, but not as many flashes as Darnold. You mentioned that first game, that was a good one. I mean, how about when he came back from the injury and closed the final, 4 or 5 games and put up good numbers, went toe-to-toe with Rodgers and Deshaun Watson? I was thinking, I'm in a pretty good spot going into this offseason. Hopefully they hire a good coach and they're on their way. And, well, we know they hire Adam Gase, and unfortunately, Darnold and Gase are gone 2 years later.
Well, the best Sam Darnold moment for me was when he came back from mono and they beat the Cowboys at home, the Robbie Anderson long touchdown. And it's like, okay, like we might actually have a quarterback here. Like we thought Sam was the real deal after his rookie year. Like he ended the last 4 weeks. You brought it up. Highest quarterback rating in the NFL over the last 4 games of his rookie season. We're thinking, like, we're not used to this. Like he looks like a real quarterback. And then we never see it because he gets mono, comes back. They win that first game. And in typical Adam Gase fashion, anytime you thought they might put something together, they immediately lose the next week. That awful, disgusting, no good game to the Jaguars. And then I think a week after that, if my painful memory is correct here, that was the ghost game against the Pats on Monday Night Football, which essentially cooked their season. They were 1-7. That's all she wrote. Then they had all these fake wins down the stretch that ultimately meant nothing.
I think the Patriots game came first. I think it was the Pats game, then the Jaguars game, which makes that even worse, to be honest with you. You go from that high to that low. That was a tough couple weeks, man.
Was it really? Let's see. I'm looking it up right now. 2016 or 2019 New York Jets schedule. The greatest 7-9 team we've ever experienced.
Awesome.
Let's see. They lost to Buffalo week 1. We remember the CJ Mosley was Lawrence Taylor for 3 quarters until he got hurt, and then the collapse. That awful game to Cleveland on Monday night. I remember what's his name? Luke Falk had to come in because Simeon broke his leg because Myles Garrett killed him. Yep. Then they at New England, they got destroyed 30-14. The bye week. At Philadelphia, they lost, so they're 0-4. They beat Dallas, they're 1-4. You're right, Matt. They beat Dallas, and then they lost 33-0 to the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football to be 1-5, and basically killing all hope. Then the awful loss to the Jaguars, 1-6. At Miami, awful loss, 1-7. And then they started winning some games against bad teams and backup quarterbacks. And I mean, 7-9 ended up being the highest winning percentage that Joe Douglas had in any of his years as the GM.
That's sad. And that wasn't even really his team, too, because Mike McCagnon did the draft and free agency that year.
It's just this fan base deserves so much more, man. Like this is just painful just looking at what happened. Like even like the glimmer of hope, they follow it up, and it's not even like they're competitive against New England. 33-0. Quarterback caught on a hot mic saying he's seeing ghosts. ESPN does him dirty there, and the Jets get clowned again.
Yeah, that was from the highest of highs to lowest of lows. And then I'm looking too, like the Bengals game after Thanksgiving, where Adam Gase didn't spend Thanksgiving with his family just to lose 22-6 to, I think they were a 1-win or maybe no win team at the time.
They were 0-11, I think. Let me look it up. They lost 22-6. They were 0-11 coming into the game.
Yep. Just Adam Gase, baby.
Andy Dalton returned from his 3-week exile Sunday and got a long-awaited win for the coach who benched him, throwing a touchdown pass during a 22-6 victory over the Jets that ended the longest losing streak in Cincinnati Bengals history.
Can't make this shit up.
For those saying your ears are bleeding, like Ralphie in the chat, I'm sorry, but don't worry. I'll make it up to you guys. I'm giving away a signed Breece Hall trading card at the end of this show. It's part of our daily raffle series. If you enter for the Breece card, you're in it to win it. Plus, you're automatically entered to win the Clyde Frazier jersey, Joe Namath jersey, and the CJ Mosley jersey, which we're targeting Monday for our top raffle for those 3 items. So keep that in mind for those of you who are entered into that one. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I haven't read this yet. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. I'm sure it's negative. Bang Mateo checks in with an Asmaniac super chat. Being realistic, the Jets replace quality starters like Moses, Devontae, and DJ Reed with unknown rookies in Membu, A.Z. Thomas, and Arian Smith for 2025. Well, I don't think you're right about this, Bang, because Morgan Moses was replaced by Membu. Okay, fair. Devontae was not replaced by Arian Smith. Devontae is essentially, he's gone and they replaced him with what they already had. Like Devontae joined the team midseason last year. DJ Reed was not replaced by a rookie. He was essentially replaced by Brandon Stevens. So it's not like an apples to orange comparison when you're talking about veterans leaving and some rookies in different rounds being added. The only pure, hey, they replaced this guy with that guy is Membu's replacing Morgan Moses in the starting lineup at right tackle.
Yeah, and I don't know. Can we not be excited about a top 10 pick being a starting right tackle? I think there's a chance he could be an upgrade over what, Morgan Moses was at that point in his career a year ago. Devontae, he was obviously very productive, but I don't think he wanted to be here anymore. So they didn't really have a choice there. DJ Reed leaving was the most obvious thing. I thought he kind of mailed it in the second half of last season.
He wasn't good last year. I like DJ Reed. He was a really good Jet the first couple of years, but once Salo was gone, his play went.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. So not surprised that any of those three left the Jets.
Yep, no surprise at all. All right, we got some memberships, baby. Rick Kent is in our daily raffle for 5. Yeah, Rick.
Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
If you hear your name called, you thank the Rick Kent, Nick Russo, Brooklyn Jets, Low Temp Fade TV, Daniel Yaez, and how about this? Rick gifting a membership to my brother, Zach Asman. But wait, there is more. Bo C is also now a part of our daily raffle this morning. He has gifted 5 channel memberships. If you hear your name called, you thank Bo, Josh Ellis, Sal Pizzuto, Jose Lopez, Infrared Jets, Sneakers to Boots, all receiving channel memberships. Rick and Bo, thank you very much for your generosity. Comments, questions, your super chats, they always cut the line. So I was doing some detective work, Matt. You'll love this. So the beat reporters who attend training camp or OTAs, one of the rules of being allowed to cover it is that in their reporting, they can't tell you who's on the first team or the second team. So they could give you hints, like kind of how we got word of, they're rotating centers. So there's a competition at center. And, John Simpson alluded to both guys getting after it. So you could kind of piece it together. But the Jets every day always post photos from these practices on their official website. And in one of the photos online, you could see Will McDonald lining up, and he's lining up against Armand Membu. And you could see Justin Fields is the quarterback under center, and AVT is the starting right guard in this alignment. So you could put it together that, they've already said Fields is the starter. We know AVT's a starter. We know Will McDonald's a starter. So that means Armand Membu is getting work with the ones. He will be the starting right tackle. So they could try and tell us competition, this or that. We know he's the starting right tackle already in these OTAs.
Yeah, Chuck Okorafor is not going to be the starting right tackle. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll pull up this photo here. I'm sure the Jets are like, why are you showing this? But it's like, well, you guys are the ones who are putting it out online. I'm not there. I'm just a fan who is interested in this sort of stuff. But yeah, Detective Asman was on the scene here, Matt, and I think I deserve praise for this, because how many sickos are spending time on Jets.com looking at alignments and photos from practice like I am?
Yeah, scrolling through the photos, trying to get an eye on it. Braylon Allen looks like he's in for that package.
Yeah, running back by committee, baby. We got Braylon Allen out there. We got Fields under center. You can see it's Tippmann, I believe, who's the center. In a different photo, I was able to put that together. But you got Vera Tucker, Membu, and then good old Will McDonald right there lined up as number 9. He looks like a kicker in this photo, I'll be honest.
What's your take on the numbers thing where you can pretty much wear any number you want?
Hate it. I love that the NFL had some uniformity with its numbers. I think it's so ridiculous looking that we can let guys wear whatever they want now.
That's probably my most boomer take as well. Give me the cornerbacks wearing the 20s and 30s. If you're running back, you're wearing in the 20s and 30s also. What is this, single digits for a running back and edge rusher? Not my NFL.
And I just think it looks silly. But if you're going to do it, you should have to be a veteran to do. You should have to play 5 years in the league before you're able to change your number. I don't like how, these rookies come in and they're wearing 00 and 1 and 7 and all these numbers for a defensive lineman. Will McDonald had an elite pass rush number 99. And you change that to wear a single digit number so you could look like a kicker?
I don't get it.
Unreal. It's so weird. So weird. Nate says, by Jake's logic, Braylon is starting over Brees. Rick Kent says, Braylon is in the backfield holding a ball. He's not in that set. Uh-oh.
Apologies.
Detective work here. Now,
Okay.
let's be honest. We know Braylon Allen is going to play. Brees is the starter, but we know Braylon Allen's going to play. I think I'm on Nate's side here. I think Braylon looks like he's lined up behind Fields. What about you?
Yeah, I think so too. Right? He's not. I don't see him holding a. Is he holding a ball?
No, he's not holding the ball.
Okay.
His hand's on his knee.
Okay, so there we go. I think he's in the formation.
Isn't this great? Debating a practice photo in May.
It's the best.
This fan base, man, they deserve everything and more. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Giving away a signed Brees Hall trading card at the end of the show. If you want in, Yo Home says could care less what McDonald wears. He could wear a dress for all I care. I just want winners. I get that. And ultimately, if he balls out in number 9, we won't care. This to me is just like a big picture NFL thing. Like I don't like defensive linemen wearing single digit numbers. I think it looks ridiculous. I think the Packers first round wide receivers wearing the number 22. That's insane. That's a running back number. There's certain numbers that you should not be allowed to wear. And this is the ultimate boomer, old man, get off my lawn take. I think I have, Matt, but I'm with it. That's my feeling.
I'm in the same boat. I don't like it.
Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. Matt, I know you got to run. I apologize. I just checked the time here, so I appreciate you hopping on as always. Islanders have a new GM. Plug the Islander podcast for any hockey fans out there.
Yeah, so Up the Turnpike on YouTube. Make sure to check it out. Shout out Alan. He's always in the chat.
Oh, no.
Up the Turnpike. I know he's made the transition over to hockey as well. Biggest thing for a blue and orange team today, right? Islanders announcing the new general manager. Nothing else going on?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the only blue and orange noteworthy thing happening in New York today.
Absolutely. So good luck to the Knicks. I hope they extend their series, and hopefully Matthew Darsh is a good GM.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Matt O'Leary NY on YouTube is where you can find his Jets channel. Comments, questions, super chats. I want everyone to know that the phone lines are officially open, so you could call in and be a part of our show this morning. Little programming note, I am taking off tomorrow. There will not be a show tomorrow. There will be a show hopefully on Sunday. I'm also doing radio on Sunday from noon to 4. So no show tomorrow. Little Friday off. Got something I got to take care of tomorrow. So no show tomorrow. No show Saturday. We're back in all likelihood Sunday, but if not, certainly Monday. And if you want to be a part of the radio program on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, I'll be on Channel 82 once again from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. J-Boy, who won a daily raffle prize the other day, and I will be sending that out to you later, J-Boy. You are in this daily raffle and our weekly raffle. 4, 5, everyone, let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the following 5 people are now officially channel members. J-Boy gifting J-Boy. I love when that happens. Very rare. Congrats, J-Boy. You deserve it. Brad McCaffrey, Travis Preheim, Tyrone Garcia, and Steven Gonzalez. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Reminder, join the Patreon. We posted info today about limited group buy tickets for the Tampa Bay game. If you want to sit with Jet fans at a discounted rate, these are going to go first come, first serve. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join the Discord. You'll see all the info. We have a confirmed happy hour at Jasper's. New time, by the way. It's now from 4:30 to 8:30 or however long you want to stay. That'll be at Jasper's in Tampa Bay the night before the game. There'll be raffle prizes. There'll be an auction where a lot of the money is going to go to the Marty Lyons Foundation as well. So that will be the Saturday before the game. We will have a game day tailgate, which I'll have info for you guys that purchase your tailgate tickets for those making the trip for the Week 3 Jets-Bucks game. So all that info, hotel info is coming later. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join the Discord. It's first come, first serve. We'll open it up to the general public if there's any left over. So appreciate all of you who are Patreon members, because without the Patreon support, wouldn't be able to make this full-time job a reality the last several years. So thank you to everyone out there who supports me on Patreon. Let's see. Mark with a comment here. Diggs party boat with a pink substance and 3 sugar babes concerning. I mean, maybe for the Patriots. What do I care? By the way, Stephon Diggs is not good anymore. All right? He's an older player now coming off a knee injury. I don't know what Pats fans are expecting from Diggs. Like that 6 rings doofus guy. I'm sure he thinks he's going for like 1,700 yards like the old Stephon Diggs. That's not who he is anymore. All right? I don't think Stephon Diggs is going to end up being a great signing for them. I think he got completely overpaid. And I think when you look at Stephon Diggs, it's like us being excited about Mike Williams last year, when in hindsight, we should have known better. Like this guy signed a 3-year, $69 million contract, $12 million signing bonus, $25 million guaranteed. It was such an overpay. They felt like they had to pay him, though, because no one wanted to take New England's money to play for a bad team. So they overpaid because they had cap space to try and get him. Like, I'm very weary on what Diggs is. I mean, he suffered his ACL injury in week 8 last year. I mean, he was productive before he got hurt, but that's a tough injury to come back from. He's 31 years old now. And I have some doubts. But as far as what he's doing on the boat, I mean, if you're going to do that, right? If you're going to allegedly, give a bunch of, to quote Charles Gorman, lovely ladies what looks like drugs in a bag, right? I don't want to assume it's drugs. Allegedly, people are saying it is. Why are you on camera doing it, dumbass? Right? Like, obviously, he didn't know he's being filmed, but how do you let that get out there? How do you put yourself in that spot? Like, I'll be straight up with you guys. I work in sports. I've been covering sports for a while now. I know a lot of stories that don't make it to the media, right? Don't get out publicly about parties athletes are involved in or coaches. Like, you hear a lot of stuff. But it doesn't get out there because there's no video evidence of it. Stephon Diggs is on camera doing this. So he looks like an idiot. Just poor judgment. And he went to a Knick playoff game with Cardi B earlier during this Knick playoff run. And it was funny. When they showed Cardi B, people were cheering. And then the camera panned over to Diggs and people booed. I was like, good job by the Knick Jet fans in the crowd. But I look forward to Sauce Gardner locking up Stephon Diggs, allegedly on cocaine, when those two teams play this year. If Diggs is even out there. So we'll see. Michael says, how about giving Connor the reins to do an afternoon show? I actually like that idea. That'd be kind of fun. Hey, Connor Long, you want to take over the channel? I'm not against that idea. Now, I had to talk with Connor about that, but I don't hate that idea. You guys better be nice to Connor, though, or I'm giving him full permission to throw any troll in the hole immediately. No bounty, nothing. Just host discretion on that one. Hey, shout out to Susan and Bob Holt. They just signed up for the Patreon. They're now a Patreon member. By the way, it's now even cheaper to be a Patreon member for the year. You sign up, you save 20% now instead of 15% for the year. So instead of $51 for the year, it's $48 for the year, and you get all the perks. So appreciate you, Susan and Bob. Mr. Bonesy says, F that, Jake. Let me and Gator do it. If we let Gator do it, we know how that's going to go. I've already seen what that looks like, folks. All right? For those of you who are longtime viewers of the show, you've seen it too. All right? Gator's hosted this show before. All right? And there were some mixed results the last time he did it.
I know what will spice this show up. Charles is up next. What's up, Charles?
Hey, what's going on, Fake?
Talking all things Jets. Charles, how are you, pal?
I'm good. I just had some of my mom's famous chicken soup. I'm actually ready to give you that recipe if you like.
Damn straight. I can't wait. Let's go.
Okay, so you're going to want to write this down, right? So she starts with a live chicken, and you have to pull all the feathers out, but don't kill it in the process. Then you drop it in a boiling pot of water along with 2 tablespoons of motor oil. Be sure that it's not the synthetic oil because that'll set the kitchen on fire. How the chicken's going to scream a little, but that's when you have to squirt hot Tabasco sauce right into its beak. The little bastard's going to gag on it and take it all in. Wait for the chicken to stop screaming and then watch as it releases its bowels and the water turns dark red. Put on some heavy-duty gloves and squeeze the chicken's body until you get all that fluid out and the eyes pop out. Then just add 2 cups of prune juice and let it sit for 2 days. Reheat and you're ready to go.
Man, that's it. Thanks, Charles.
You got it, Fig. Hopefully that gets Lowski off my damn back.
Hey, Charles, I need some of that chicken soup.
This is my mom.
Oh, sorry, guys. I need some of your mama's chicken soup.
She's a good woman.
Send it this way, Charles. Yeah, I know it's delicious. I need some of it. Hey, Charles, I need some of that chicken soup. I need some of it, Charles. You sitting up there eating enchiladas. I need it, Charles.
Sorry about that, guys. Oh,
The recipe, Charles.
Who are you having this conversation with?
I'm on a live stream.
With who?
My friends.
Yes.
Interesting how Charles referred to us as his friends there, but I've also been referred to as a YouTube friend. Very interesting. If you're just tuning in, Matt O'Leary joined us for the first 40-plus minutes of the show, so check that out if you missed it. We're giving away this right here at the end of today's program. It is a signed Breece Hall trading card. And with the Breece Hall trading card, I'm going to sweeten the pot. You ready for this? I have in here a little Asmaniac goodie pack that will come included with your trading card. You'll get a pack of stickers. You'll get a Jake Asman Show cup. And you will receive copious amounts of other stickers, like a bumper car sticker, like a normal size Asmaniac sticker, like a smaller circle Jake Asman Show sticker, and a normal Asmaniac sticker. So, all that. The cup is my favorite. With the Breece Hall trading card, if you win. Love it. What do we got here? Big Loyal says, no, let Beast and Beasley host. You trying to get my channel canceled, Big Loyal? I see what you're doing. We let Beasley and Beast host the show. This show might not survive. All right? Like, for instance, I put Beasley in the hole. He's just sitting in there right now. All right, I can't let him host the show. You're nuts. You're out of control if you think I'm going to let that guy host the show. And Beast, we love Beast, but he's a loose cannon, folks. I never know what I'm going to get from Beast. You know, 1 second he could be happy, the other second he could be losing his mind. And it's just too big of a risk. Too big of a risk. So let Beasley just sit in the hole for now, and we'll figure out the next steps. Ladies and gentlemen, Janice Jett, who's one of the nicest people, she will be in Tampa with all of us at the meetup. Her family buys her jet tickets every year for her birthday. Some are calling that a punishment. I say, Janice, this year it will be well worth it with all the great events we have planned before the game. So we'll have fun before the Jets probably disappoint us as usual. I've done too many of these road trip now to experience anything different. But Janice will be in Tampa, and she's in our daily raffle now. She gifted 10 channel memberships. Everyone give it up for Janice. Yeah. If you hear your name called, you just received 10 memberships. You maybe received one of the 10. Here we go. Dean, Area Shiken, Shane Tuttle, Carl Johnson, John, Matt from L5, The Power, Dino, and Nitty, all receiving channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Janice Jett. You know, if we let Gator host the show, one of the things we'd have to be concerned about is his ability to potentially get along with callers. You know, it's not easy doing this. You got people from all backgrounds that call in, and you never quite know what's going to happen when you're hosting this show. Example, this could happen if Gator hosted.
To close out today's show, we first ring the alarm.
Warning, Allen alert. Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Allen alert. Hide. the children.
Hey, Alan, what's up? I see you're still at the beach in your tank.
Hi, Fake. I'm still here in my tank at the beach with all you delusional Jet fans sitting in your filthy home surrounded by hoes.
Hold out, Alan. The season hasn't even started yet, and you want them to tank the season already?
No, Fake. This tank is loaded up for battle for next year. We need to go 0-17 with these Jets.
You want the Jets to lose every friggin' game?
Right, Fake. We need to tank every year.
Are you kidding me? I can't take this shit anymore, Alan. Damn you.
Fake? Fake? Where you going? Well, I guess I'm the host.
Closer I am to find.
Hey, Margot Robbie, take me to the beach.
Anyway, like I was saying, why you delusional Jet fans aren't watching Iowa women's field hockey is beyond my comprehension.
Hey, Alan, you've ruined my show with your negativity for the last time, douchebag. Take this, you fake Jets fan.
He stinks. The guy is terrible.
Well said. That actually would be okay if that happened without me doing the show. Maybe we will let Gator host it. What could go wrong? 24 hours later, everything. I see there's some requests for Jake Klein. We haven't seen Jake Klein in a long time. But when we do, he's usually calling in from what appears to be a prison.
More Jets talk here on the Nutbuster Hotline. And Jake Klein is up next. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, Fake. Thanks for taking my call. Look, man, I call into each and every show on YouTube, including the cooking channels, and I have to say that this is the most ridiculous show I've ever seen on YouTube. I know you can't tell from my expressionless face, but I'm completely horrified with your presentation here. I mean, I've gotten almost nothing out of this show from you, not a single piece of Jets information that's worth a damn. Again, you couldn't tell how upset I am from my emotionless face, but I'm disgusted and will never call back. You suck, Fake.
Hey, you Jake Klein person who looks like an older version of me. How dare you talk like that to the Jets and our ass, man? Shame on you. I hope you fall down and hurt your face.
Well said, Lane. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Let's give a shout out to Adam is too cool. He just joined the Patreon for the year. Adam, about time, baby. About time. He's in. He just joined the Discord as well. So if you're on the Discord, welcome Adam to the Patreon. Once again, limited edition or limited availability group buy tickets for Jets Bucks available. I don't know how many are left. Thank you to the Tampa Bay Jets fan club for putting that together. So secure your spot, and I'll have info later on, a link for you to buy your hotel if you want to book a room at a discounted rate as well. Really nice hotel. 10 minutes from the stadium, right in downtown Tampa Bay, about 15 minutes from where the Saturday night meetup is. It's not even Saturday night. It's Saturday happy hour, 4:30 to 8:30, or however long you want to stay. So things are coming together, folks. Things are happening. All right, call in if you so choose. We're accepting raffle entries and a whole lot more. Let me hit on the Knicks now while we hopefully get some callers who want to be a part of this. I'll be in the building tonight, and I hope it's not the last time I'm in Madison Square Garden for a Knicks game this season. Do I think the Knicks are likely to come back down 3-1? History tells you no. Do I think the series is over tonight, though? I don't think it is. I think the Knicks can win tonight. They're a favorite tonight. And the goal is not to come back down 3-1 tonight. The goal is to keep your season alive. The Knicks were in this spot 2 years ago against the Heat. Down 3-1. They won Game 5 at home. Extended the series to Miami. They lost a really close game in Game 6. If I had to predict what I see happening, that would probably be the most logical estimation. But this was the same spot the Celtics were in after the Knicks blew them out in Game 4 and didn't really even blow them out, but pulled away late and Tatum got hurt. And you know what? The Celtics showed championship mettle, showed their pride, and didn't allow the Knicks to beat them in their building. That's the pride the Knicks need to show tonight. Don't let this team come into your building and do a championship celebration for winning the Eastern Conference on Madison Square Garden's floor. You know, you have to win tonight, and you'll worry about game 6 when you get there. But you got to get there first. 3-1's been done in the NBA before. It's happened. It could happen again. These two teams have been very evenly matched for most of this series. The Knicks blew game 1. It very easily could be 2-2 right now. Each of these games have come down to a couple possessions here or there. Has Indiana been the better team? Absolutely. Do the Knicks need to play a lot better for a complete game if they're going to win? Absolutely. That doesn't mean they can't. And I know they have not played well at home. That has to change tonight. There needs to be a desperate mentality that the Knicks need to play with. Boston played with that in that game 5. It was close for a while, and then they pulled away. And they won that game, and ultimately they lost in 6. But you know what? There's a difference in losing in 6 and 5 to me, especially when you're losing at home again. You're going to lose 3 games, on your home floor to the Indiana Pacers, your biggest rival. You're going to lose 3 games on your home floor in this series. Can't do it. Got to win tonight. Get it back to Indiana. And then you never know what could happen. You never know. An ankle sprain happens to Siakam. Something could go crazy. Someone gets into foul trouble. You just never know. Like, you got to give yourself a chance. You play the games on the court. You're not trying to win the series tonight. You're trying to win the game. And these two teams have been very even for a lot of the series. They need a big game from Jalen Brunson. That goes without saying. Cat, I know he's listed as questionable. I believe he's playing tonight, from what I've gathered. But it's not those guys I'm looking at. Yes, Cat needs to stay out of foul trouble. Same with Brunson. The stupidity with the fouls has been ridiculous, even if some of the calls are dumb. Like, I didn't think it was a foul when Cat, was like grabbing the hand of whoever that was on Indiana. I forget. But you know what? Why put yourself in that spot? Don't do it. So the Knicks need to go out there tonight and be locked in. They need to obviously not get down double digits again. Just because they have come back multiple times these playoffs from down 10, 14, 20, all that. That doesn't mean that you want to keep putting yourself in that spot. The Knicks have not dominated the game in any of these games since the first 45 minutes of game 1. Come out tonight, like Boston did, and show some pride and not lose on your home floor. Keep the season alive for another night. That's all you're trying to do. You get it back to game 6, the pressure shifts to Indiana. And then game 7, anything happens. You never know. And I still feel like, even though Halliburton, tip your cap to him, he was incredible in game 4. He was. I still think the Knicks have the best player in the series. And I'm expecting a big game from that guy tonight. But he can't do it alone. Mikal Bridges. Can you show up? Josh Hart. I think he will show up. That's a guy that's not going to go out there and have 5 more turnovers and be awful. Hart had an uncharacteristically terrible game. I have faith in him bouncing back. Bridges, he's been bad the whole series. Really. He obviously had incredible moments against Boston. They wouldn't be here without him, but that's why they need him now. The goal after you beat Boston isn't just to rest on your laurels and be happy you're in the conference finals. You were a favorite coming in. So protect the garden floor, win tonight, and we'll see what happens. If you lose in 6, that's different to me as a fan than losing in 5. This season has been so much fun. This experience, watching this team do something that hasn't been done in 25 years. For all the younger Knicks fans, they get to finally experience what it's like to see a team in the conference finals, be one of the 4 best teams in the NBA, all that. It takes a hit if you lose in 5 to Indiana when you were the favorites coming in, when you beat them in the regular season 2-1, when they beat you last year, and last year you lost to them because you ran out of healthy bodies. This year, while Indiana clearly has improved, their young players, another year of growth, they've gotten better. I still think the Knicks have more talent. So let's go, man. Show some pride and keep the season alive and find a way to win the game. And the X factor is going to continue to be Mikal Bridges to me, because when he plays well, they have won. And when he struggled, they've lost most of those games. So bring the energy, man. Indiana came out desperate after halftime in that third quarter the other night. Knicks were so sloppy. The mental mistakes, the turnovers, it was just awful. Awful. They played so poorly. So disappointing. So the odds are against the Knicks winning this series. We know the history of teams down 3-1. We know the history of teams that are down 0-2 in a conference finals. Only 7% of teams ever came back from that. But they got to go out there tonight and show some pride and not lose a third game in a row at home against the Indiana Pacers. That can't happen. That's unacceptable. Get the series to game 6, and you go from there. And they've already won a game in Indiana, so it's not like they're going to a place they can never win. But you got to get there first. Smokey Champ, if they lose, Tibbs is probably gone. Based on what? They're going to fire a coach who brought them to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years? Who's made the playoffs 4 of his first 5 years he's been here? Won the Coach of the Year award his first year? Do people remember what the Knicks were like before Tom Thibodeau? I'm not saying he's the perfect coach. There are things he does that obviously are frustrating, his stubbornness, all that. But the guy's a very good coach. Can we stop always blaming the coach anytime a team loses? Don't the players have to be accountable too? We never put enough of the blame on the players. Charles says they don't play well at home, Jake. The fouls are like penalties in the NFL. It's coaching. It's not just coaching. All right. Cat has had this problem his whole career with the dumb fouls. It's not just coaching. And you say they don't play well at home. Neither did Indiana until they won game 4. So just because their history is that does not mean that history stays the same forever. They can win a home game tonight. They can win a home game tonight, and they're still going to be underwhelming at Madison Square Garden from a record standpoint. They win tonight, they're 4-5 at home in the playoffs. That's not good enough. But you know what? I'd rather be 4-5 after tonight than 3-6 and your season's over. And 3 of those 6 losses were to the Indiana Pacers in your building. So win tonight. I'm not worried about game 6 or game 7. I'll worry about that if we get to that point. We're lucky enough to get to that point. Win tonight. That's the goal. Peter Castro, Bridges misses are killing them. Absolutely. Alan says, why do I get blocked for saying nothing? Kind of sketchy. Because every time you get blocked, it's either because you're a douche or you violate one of the rules. Stop with the political comments, Alan. I don't care if you're pro this or pro that. It's a sports show. Talk about sports. That's why you get thrown in timeout. It's not that complicated to figure it out, but you're an utter moron.
Fuck you, Alan.
I mean, enough. You know what you said about Jake Klein. I saw the comment. Mamad had every right to throw your ass in timeout for 5 minutes. You don't know why. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Allen is the way he is. This is why. This is what he does for fun. Besides, hate on teams he claims to be a fan of in a YouTube comment section. This is what he does. Enough said. This man is sick. Sick. Inhumane. Grotesque. Disgusting. I rest my case. Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. If you're tuning in late, Brees Hall, autographed trading card, raffling it away at the end of the show. I'll mail it to you today because when I get done with the show, I'm headed to mail off some of our daily raffle prizes that people have won over the last week. Let's head to the phone line right now. And on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is one of the greats.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David.
Yes, I agree with you. The odds are against the Knicks to win the series, but man, tonight's game, it would be so huge, and I'm thinking of all the loyal fans, and you know, if they could come in there and come out with victory, it would be awesome. That's what we're hoping for. And as far as hosting the show, I think you could give Beast a chance, providing you have it's him, the big fella, and Mr. Bonesy. You know, having his lawyer there and his psychiatrist slash counselor, you know, and friend, and you know, so they could monitor what the Beast, you know, says and Q&A. It might work.
You know what? It's something I have to consider, David. I am going to take the comment and strongly consider it. It is something we've never done before, guest host. But you know what? It might be something we have to explore.
I mean, there's nobody that can replace you, Jake. But you know, as a stand-in, you know, it could be a lot of fun. And
I don't
you
know.
know,
If I let Connor Long do it, you know, they're going to start calling me Wally Pip Asman. You know, that's the problem.
well, Connor obviously has a great future, you know, but no, he's got a long way to go to catch up to you, but he's got a great future. It's going to be, if I live that long, it's going to be interesting to see how he develops, you know, with his career, you know. So incidentally, this has been a couple weeks already. Your shows have been so great. I'm all set up for the Tampa game.
Let's go, David. Do you need a hotel room?
Yep, I did get a hotel room. I did it the way I did the Miami game last year. I Googled the closest hotel to Raymond James, and I got it's actually an Econo Lodge, I believe. It's very inexpensive. It's a mile away from the stadium, so I can walk. And let's see here. I got a seat, and the seat is like if you oversee like the banner for the Bucks. My brother and sister-in-law had sat there already. I've never been to Raymond James, where the Bucks come out. It's on the lower level. I wanted a lower level seat.
We will see you there, David. We got info in the Discord for the meetup for Saturday, and then the tailgate Sunday morning is coming as well.
And you know what, Jake? You said things are falling in line. I don't want to keep you on long, but the meetup, I'm so looking forward to it. I'd love, you know, to meet the people, say a few words to them. But originally it was slated for 7:00, and I'm thinking, well, I wish it would be cool if it was earlier. Then you could spend good quality time, and then you know, get to the hotel, get a good night's sleep, and be pumped up for the game. So things are falling in line.
We're making it happen, David. And I'll tell you what, when you walk into the meetup that Saturday, the crowd pop you're going to get is going to be legendary.
Well, so there is one more thing, and I don't have it yet, but sources, I got it from sources unknown. It's on the way with the tracking. You know, when you could get a shirt and they promote it like 00, but you can get any number on and get your name on the back. Well, I got a Jets home jersey, and I got number 85, and on the back I'm getting David T. So if people say, "Who the heck's that guy?" then they look, "Oh yeah, David T. I seen him on the Jake Show."
Yes, I love it. That's going to be electric.
Yeah. So, yep. So I'm excited already, and I would love to promote Florida. I mean, the people are not only going to come down, enjoy the game, enjoy the Asmaniacs, but you know, we're close enough to Tampa that there's so many things, and you know, you're going to be around beaches and water, and I mean, I'm down here 8 years now, and I just have to promote Florida, to be quite honest with you.
You strike me as a guy who's loving Florida, David T. I could see it being a soothing place for you.
I am, Phil. It's now my happy place, and you know, my family's down here, and I was up in PA, and you know, not to get personal or anything, but you know, I was in a not a really good marriage, and you know, things weren't very good up there, and my job Fortunately they shut us down. I had over 30 years in, and my brother got me down here, and got divorced and all that kind of stuff, and all for the good. And I'm down with my family and loving it, and hopefully I can stay independent as long as I can, and just enjoy retirement and life, and enjoy Florida. So it is now my happy place.
David, I hope your happy place is Raymond James Stadium around 4:30 Eastern time on Sunday, September 21st. All right? Because if it is, I think it's going to be a happy place for all of us there as well.
And don't forget, and I think, is your birthday the 18th?
You have a good memory. It is.
Yes. Well, because my birthday is the 21st.
Ah, wow. So the game is actually on your birthday. Wow. The Jets cannot lose on David T's birthday.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. I already said to my brother and sister-in-law, they're going to take it to the Bucks.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Jake.
David, you are the man. Appreciate your calls as always. And I see you got the Nick hat on. So I'll end this call by saying the following to you, David. Let's go Knicks.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
A flurry of Patreon signups continue. By the way, when you sign up for the year, I'm adding 10 raffle entries next to your name. You also save now 20%. Mike Dems just joined the Patreon. So Mike, Adam is too cool, and Susan and Bob Holt, you are all being added to the weekly raffle for 10. And since you signed up during the show, I'll put you in the daily raffle for 10 as well. So appreciate all of you who are supporting. The reason why you want to join the Patreon is I posted a link for those coming to Tampa to buy group tickets. They're discounted. It's first come, first serve. I have no idea how many are even left. This was sent to me by the Tampa Bay Jets fan club. So the best you're going to find as far as rates this time of year, it's the Bucks home opener. So I don't think the tickets are going to get that much cheaper if you wait. I really don't. Just kind of looking at how it's going to play out. The Bucks are on the road the first 2 weeks. So it's our home opener. So even if they're 0-2, I don't think the tickets are going to drop that much. It's our home opener coming off a playoff season. So best opportunity to get group tickets is with that link on Patreon. And then Discord will have all the info for the Saturday party, the Sunday morning tailgate. And I'm finalizing, hopefully, fingers crossed, end of today, the link to get a discounted rate at one of the nice hotels in downtown Tampa for all of us to be a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get back to your calls, shout out to JYB. Biggest super chat of the day. $100. Boom.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
It's a good day off when I could catch a live show. Let's go, Knicks. Take it one game at a time. It's been done before. Rally tonight, then steal one like they did game one at home, and we're back in it. You win tonight, and while the odds are still against you, you live to see another day, and anything can happen when you feel like you have a legitimate superstar in Jalen Brunson. We saw Towns single-handedly win them a game in game 3. You're not out of it. Like, these two teams are very even. If I thought there was a huge talent disparity, I'd say they're done. And while they're probably not going to come back and win, history will tell you that. The math tells you that. There's different kinds of down 3-1 in sports. This is actually a doable 3-1. I can't sit here and lie to you guys and say I think the Knicks are going to do it. I'd be disingenuous. But I'm also not going to sit here and do the obituary on the season yet. We'll have that conversation if they lose. I'm going to be a fan till the end. And at the bare minimum, if you're going to lose in 6 in Indiana, not lose in 5 at home and allow this team, your biggest rival, to come into your building and eliminate you for the second year in a row. This time, they're doing a trophy presentation because they're going to the NBA Finals. Don't let that happen. We know they haven't been good at home all postseason. That's not going to change even if they win tonight. I told you that. They'd be 4-6 record-wise. It's not good. That's a hell of a lot better. All right, they'd be 4-5, excuse me. That's a hell of a lot better than losing 3 games in the conference finals at Madison Square Garden and your home playoff record being 3-7, right? My math correct there? I think it is. It's not good enough. They lost 2 games to Detroit at the Garden. They lost, obviously, a game to Boston at the Garden, and then they lost 2 to Indiana. So there's your 5 losses at home. Got to win tonight. And JYB, as always, you're the best. Appreciate your support. I got you down in the raffle for this right here, the autographed Breece Hall trading card. I also will send you guys with the card a little display to put the card on. So it could go on a bookshelf, go on a shelf, go on your desk, put it in the man cave. So the card is protected here, and I'll send you guys that, a bunch of ASMANIACS swags as well. Black Gypsy with a great question here. Jake, how much to block Allen and bang for life and only let them back on if they apologize? It's a great question. The price to ban Allen for life is officially set at 99 cents. And Bang Mateo, he super chats more, so we'll be nice. We'll set it at $7. So if you send in $8.99 or $7.99, my math is terrible, that will be it for both Allen and Bang. I kid. We don't do bans for life around here. We might have to. We just haven't gotten there yet. But if you want to send anyone to the hole, the bounty is $50. As we saw Beastbreaker have his face turned yesterday, sending 6 rings to the hole in one of the more epic moments in recent Jake Asman show history. Now, I'll tell you what. Since normally the hole is only per show, why don't we do this? If it's Allen specifically, we can enact a hole for the day. So that means both shows. That's how much this audience can't stand the man. But yesterday, shout out to Beast again. What a job. Job well done. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Appreciate all of you tuned in here. Once again, Nick Faria is going to join us live from Jets OTAs this afternoon. Jets are on the practice field. Aaron Glenn and company coaching the full team. We've been told it's 100% participation. How about this for a report I saw this morning, by the way, I meant to hit on. Bryce Huff hasn't attended any of the Eagles' workouts this spring. Jeff McLean, who covers the Philadelphia Eagles for the Philadelphia Inquirer, he's one of their top beat reporters. He's reporting that that Huff is unlikely to be a part of the Eagles' plans for this year. Could the Jets get Bryce Huff back for next to nothing? That'd be great. Now, I don't know what they have to give up, but it wouldn't be a lot. I mean, Philly already paid a lot of the money on the contract because it was front-loaded. We have some comments from Steve Wilkes, who's speaking to the media right now. We'll cover that during the afternoon show. But Steve Wilkes said, quote, "It's not really about our playbook, but our play style. Says the key is to make sure we cater to our players." Great. Because Saleh was so stubborn in his schemes. Steve Wilkes on the experience he brings and how Coach Glenn is changing the culture. Quote, "The players are really buying in, and the level of commitment and consistency we want is there." Steve Wilkes, to me, was the best hire Aaron Glenn made. First-time head coach, bring in a seasoned coordinator who has also been a head coach in 2 different opportunities, right? Once as a full-time coach with Arizona. He got railroaded. He got fired after just 1 year with a terrible roster. Very unfair to him. And then he was the head coach of Carolina after they fired Matt Rule, and he did a good job. I think he had a 500 or even a game over 500 record. That team was terrible that he took over. Players love him. That was the big takeaway I had when I was at the Combine. I think I shared that on the show. Anyone I spoke to, whether it was someone who works for a team or an agent, anyone just knows Steve Wilkes. You talk about the Jets, and one of the first things they would bring up is, man, Glenn got a good one in Wilkes. Like, that was a great hire. Like, that was like the first thing people brought up when I was talking to different people around the NFL about the Jets in Indy. So Steve Wilkes, I think, is a great hire by the Jets. It allows Aaron Glenn to not have to worry about the defense, coach the whole team. So, well, I'm sure we'll talk more about it later. Daniel Beware down in Mexico says, hello, Asmaniacs. Have a great Thursday. Rooting for the Knicks tonight. How is Daniel not a channel member? I'll tell you what. If you gift Daniel a membership before the show ends, I'll send you an item from the jakeasman.com merch store free of charge. Wouldn't that be nice? Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in right now with a man who needs no introduction.
Don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Damn.
Look at that ponytail. Look at that thing. It's funny because Beast could tell us he's hitting all these shots and none of us would have any idea. Beast could tell us he's the Michael Jordan of pool right now. And we wouldn't know. It looks good. Anyone good at pool in the chat? Any Asmaniac, a pool expert? Who is the top pool player? Who's the Michael Jordan of pool? Cactus Johnny says, Beast is 1,000% falsified being a veteran to gain entry into this establishment. Jaquest says, I could tell he's missing. Black Gypsy says, that's a bad haircut. Thunderlips, that rat tail, my God. Peter Castro, does Beast work? Is water wet? Indy Jets, Beast lives above a pool hall. That's a great theory. What if he lives above this pool hall? We're not going to be able to get the answers to any of these questions because anytime Beast leaves the attic and he actually has to use his cell phone, we know his audio is worse than anything any of us have ever experienced before. So this is the best we're going to do. Apparently, Rob Van Beast is the #1 pool player. Mr. Bonesy says Beast is the man, sticking up for his client always. Let's see if Beast interacts with this human here. Nope. Oh, Pork in the Morning is probably great at pool. I forgot he's a big pool player. DJ Dirty Cooch says that haircut makes him aerodynamic. Indy Jet says Efren Reyes is the Jordan of pool. I wonder if Beast has a pool stick like Uncle Phil had in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Does he have a Lucille? Is he hustling people? That's probably one of my favorite episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Jeffrey, bring me Lucille.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this segment has been brought to you by, well, it was either this or our next caller. So get ready. Let's say hello right now to Gary.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich. I love playing pool, but I'm about the worst pool player in the world. I like it. I'm just terrible at it. Like I'm just horrendous.
I'm horrible. I don't find it that fun either. I've never been a big pool guy. I got to be honest. I'm not a hater of it. Like if that's your thing, great. I don't know. I've never been a big pool guy. I like
darts
air
or
hockey.
pool. Darts Oh, air hockey. I'm a big darts guy.
I like
Yeah.
darts. Pool. Like, not trying to hate, but it's just not my thing. If I'm at an arcade and there's air hockey, that's my favorite thing ever. I love air hockey.
Air hockey's good. Air hockey's good. I think I would really like pool if I wasn't so bad at it. Like if I wasn't terrible at it, I think it'd be my thing. But I'm terrible at pool. I'm a little bit better at darts. I used to play in a dart league when I lived in Queens. We used to travel around like the bar circuit, like go to different bars, and played in a dart league. It was cool. Yeah. So first off, sending people. Gary needs to gloat about the first 5 rounders and a 6 swap. Alan.
You see what he's trying to do.
I see what he's saying. We can get to the Knicks in a minute.
You know, what ends up happening is it probably ends up working out for both sides. Because if you think about it, the Nets got a ton of picks. We'll see what those end up being one day. But like the Knicks wouldn't be in the conference finals without Bridges. I don't think any Knicks fan would take back the trade right now, if they're being honest. So they wouldn't be here without him. They wouldn't. They don't win. They don't win against the Celtics. We'll see how the series goes. We'll see what they do in the offseason now. But like the Knicks are going to be good again next year. Like who's good in the Eastern Conference right now? The Knicks are one of the best teams automatically next year.
Yeah, if you just took Bridges off the team, they probably don't make it. But the thing was, you changed your whole team, right? Like you didn't keep Hartenstein.
They couldn't. They couldn't.
But because you gave the money to Bridges. If you
No.
didn't bring
See, the Knicks wanted to keep Hartenstein. They were not allowed to pay him the maximum amount of money because they didn't have his bird rights. It was a flaw in the CBA.
Why wouldn't the Knicks? I'm not familiar with that system. Why didn't they have Hartenstein's bird rights?
The Knicks wanted to keep Hartenstein. He left because the Knicks could not pay him more than $72 million, and he signed a deal with Oklahoma City for, let's see, how much more?
It was a lot more than that.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. That they couldn't keep him. That's why they made the trade for Cat. It was 3 years, $87 million. The Knicks were only able to offer him 4 years and $72 million.
And I think that they could have kept Gary. You're wrong. They couldn't have kept Hart. I don't know what.
He
What
means
am I wrong
Hartenstein.
about?
He means I
Oh, Harten. I was thinking Hart. Okay. I'm not. Okay. Fine. They couldn't have kept Hartenstein. All right. All right. I don't even know where we're going with that. I'm not. I don't know the Knicks.
Can we not do the Bridges debate here? Let's.
That's fine. First off, give Connor Long the shot. You're not going to be here Friday. Connor Long can take the day off from school. He can prep for the show and do the afternoon show. Give him a shot. Like, he's good, right? Like, he's not going to ruin your show.
No, he's great.
Give him a shot. Let him have the shot. And if he's horrible, then, well, you had your shot, kid, you blew it. But if he's good, now you got a fill-in guy. You got to take a day off. You know your channel's in good. Your channel's in good hands. I'm all for giving Connor Long the shot. Yeah, on the you're not doing either show, morning and afternoon. You're out of pocket.
I'm off for the day tomorrow. I got something I got to take care of.
Give him the afternoon show. Just my personal opinion. I think he'll do a great job. Yeah, for sure. You can pick two kind of fill-in hosts. One that you say, I think this kid is good. I want to give him an opportunity to have my platform, or someone who you can put in there is like, oh, they're gonna miss me. They're gonna wish I'm back. So those are kind of the two options. I would say give Connor Long the shot. Let's see what he can do with it.
Bonesy wants to do it. Bonesy, are you off tomorrow? Call in, Bonesy. Let's discuss this. We'll have an Asmaniac-driven show.
That's the other option. You put Bonesy in, they're gonna miss you, Jake. They're gonna wish Jake was back. They're gonna be counting down until Monday. You put Bonesy in. I'm kidding.
What about you, Gary? You don't want to host the show? You're afraid a debate on the moon landing might break out, and I won't be there to legislate it?
Yeah, I'm afraid of a debate. That's exactly it, Jake. I'm afraid to have a debate.
Bonesy says he guarantees $100 in memberships. I'll tell you what, I am a Capitalfish, Bonesy. If you get Asmaniacs to pledge $100 worth in memberships, we might have to make that happen, man. That's a lot of memberships.
So I had a couple of things besides the kind of thing. First,
would you consider yourself a master debater?
I don't know. I never took like any formal debate classes or anything like that, but I'm pretty good at it. I'll call myself a master debater for comical relief here. I'm a master debater.
What are your thoughts on Allen saying he does this to himself?
What is
yesterday?
the rest of like what comes after that? Because it's obviously strategically cut off. I'm a defender of Allen. I had lunch with Allen like a week ago. Great guy. I'm going to the Jets Saints game with him in New Orleans on December 21st.
I know what game I will not be going to now.
I'm a big Allen fan. What happens here after the comma here? Like, what's the rest of this sentence?
You're gonna have to ask Addison. He sent this to me. I think he was responding to someone. I think there's a comma there, and he was addressing that comment at someone specifically, but I don't know what the context was.
Okay.
Also, Nate makes a great point. Gary, take what you read literally. What does it say? So there's no context. You're Captain Literal Man by your own words.
You're cutting it off. There is context because you're cutting it off after the comment. It's clearly strategically cut off.
Well, I guess the question is, if there's a name here, does it change what the intent is? Like if it says I F myself, or I anger myself, and then it says Steve, like, does it really matter?
No. But I'm saying what's after the comma, right? It's like My Cousin Vinny, where Ralph Macchio is like, I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk, right? Where he's asking a question and they read it back in court and it sounds like he's admitting he shot the clerk. Like, I don't know what this is, but I can't make a full judgment unless you show me what comes after the comma. That's all I'm saying. Like, I need to see the full sentence.
Look, all I'm going to tell you, Gary, is there was a name here, and that's all I know.
I like I said.
Hold on, to my DMs. Hold on. Let me see. Both Boom and out. Oh, okay. I don't think this is going to change much here, ladies and gentlemen. I think the full context here is only going to strengthen our argument that Alan is a weirdo. Stand by. Hold on. I got to put the. I got to get this ready to go. Did you? Why do you? By the way, why do your picture frames look more crooked than previously?
Lack of frames. I moved my laptop.
Have you thought about getting frames? Like they're pretty cheap on Amazon.
They're metal.
You could put that in a frame.
Put metal in a frame?
What do you mean?
I guess you could. But it doesn't need a frame because they're metal.
Oh, they're like signs, kind of like.
Yeah. They're not
why
just
wouldn't
photographs.
why wouldn't you get photos?
Well, I don't know, because when my wife was sitting in my office, she liked the those.
Interesting.
Yeah. I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, did you have some on the finger the finger gate? What
Finger gate? Yeah. Here's the full context from Fingergate. You tell me if this makes a difference at all. Hold on. Right there.
No, it doesn't make it any better. Okay, I mean that's the full context. No, that I don't. No, it's again, I don't know the conversation that ensued, but this is not a good look for you, Alan. I'll be honest. I'm still gonna go to the game with you. I still like you, but this is not a great look. This is Are
you concerned about him potentially doing this at the game?
It's crossed my mind. I hope not. I went to lunch with him the other day. He was normal. None of this occurred to my knowledge. I'm hoping it doesn't.
Are you sure?
To the best of my knowledge. I don't have all knowledge, but to the best of my knowledge.
Did you shake his hand when you saw him?
I did.
Do you regret that decision?
I don't know. I think I gave him a hug. I'm not sure.
Do you regret that decision?
This is giving me second thoughts. I'll say that.
Now let's get into the actual meal. Did you guys share any appetizers, any finger foods? What type of food did we have?
No, it was barbecue.
So you each got barbecue.
Yeah. We went to
But you didn't share any sides, did you?
No. I don't eat sides. He eats sides. I just eat the meat. I just eat meat.
So what'd you get?
I got a Texas Twinkie, and then I got brisket, and I got something else. What else did I get? They get pulled pork. I might got pulled pork too. I think I got brisket, pulled pork, and a Texas Twinkie.
So no finger foods, which is Alan's favorite, as we know.
Unless. Yes, apparently that was witty, Jake. That was good. That was good.
Now let me ask you something. You have the full context now. Do you think I should show this image on the screen when we show this image, or should I just stick to the normal image?
Either one is fine. There's no hidden context. There's no, there's not much there. There's not, that is kind of the full context, right? I mean,
also, who's BG? Like, who's he telling him? Is BG Boy Green? I hope not.
That's what that was my first hunch. Yeah, but I mean,
Like, did he say this
that's
on
what we call him? When I call him the show, I call him BG or Paul. I mean, I think that's my hunch is that it was Boy George. I don't know that to be true though.
Boy George?
I'm Boy Green. Is that what I said? I said Boy George.
You did, yes.
Boy Green. Do you know who Boy George is? Is that before your time?
I know Curious George.
Okay. Boy George was a flamboyant singer from like the 80s. Like I have Boy Green.
Yeah, I would love to know.
Boy Green.
Did this happen in my chat or this happen? Because Alan, as we know, despite saying he won't watch this show or whatever, he's in my chat every day. And we know he's in every other Jet YouTube chat, regurgitating the same lines about how the team's going to be terrible, Brees is going to be traded, Quincy's going to be gone. They made this mistake doing this, even though they did exactly what he wanted in getting rid of Rodgers and hiring Glenn. We know the Allen script, but was this in my chat or was this in a different chat?
I'm 90% sure this was in your chat because I was talking with Addison after this happened, and it was immediately after your show. So my guess would be it happened in your show because he told me about it right after your show.
Man, this is sick.
It's it's not a great look, Alan. It's not a great look.
This is just sick. I'm disgusted. Anyway, anything else on your mind, Gary?
Yeah, two other things. First, this thing that the Jets are going to get up to a terrible start. I know it's Alan, but it's other people in the chat too. They're going to start 2-6 or 3-5. I don't think the schedule's that difficult to start the season. Home for Pittsburgh, I think, is a win. Like I don't understand. Pittsburgh goes 9-8 every year. They lose 8 games. Why can't opening night in New York be one of those 8 losses? Like I think
opening
it will
day.
be.
It's not even prime time.
Why would they not? Like that to me,
well,
the Jets are going to win that game.
You want
Maybe I'm being a homer. You can accuse me of that, but
it's not an unwinnable game. My fear is, as deep down, I know a lot of Jet fans, they won't admit it, but I know it's there. If Aaron Rodgers getting hurt 4 plays in was the most Jets of all Jet things to happen, the only logical conclusion to how this all ends is he signs with the Steelers and he beats the Jets week 1 and we get laughed at as usual. So that's my fear as a long-suffering Jet fan.
When Pedro Martinez was down 0-3 to Yankees, he said, I don't believe in curses, right? Like, I don't believe in curses. The team's not actually cursed, right? Like, there's no curse. There's no ghost that came out and cursed the team. They've just been bad for the last 50-something years. Like, what happened in past eras and past GMs and past head coaches has nothing to do with the 11 guys, 22 guys that are lining up for the Jets this year. The two things aren't related. Like, the Patriots were a horrible franchise before they got good. The Chiefs weren't really a good franchise either. And then all of a sudden, everything changed. Like, I'm not saying the Jets are going to go on a dynasty run at all. But I'm just saying what happened in 2023 has nothing to do with 2025. It's a completely different team. It's a completely different coaching staff. And we talked about this last year. How many games did the Jets lose last year simply because they couldn't execute?
Agreed. Look, I don't think this is a great team, but I don't think they're just going to be awful. Like, I think if the coaching's real, they'll be able to stabilize things early, not kill themselves initially. And if they're going to be competitive, they'll get better as the year goes on. If not, they're probably going to hover just on the talent alone, anywhere from 4 to 6 wins right now.
I think, okay, at the break, and maybe I'm being blindly optimistic. I got them 5-3, but by the by.
That'd be great. I mean, I don't see that 5-3. I mean, I think 3-5 is more likely than 5.
Let me go through it real quick. The Steelers, that's a win to me.
Okay.
I'm going to say they lose to Buffalo. The 2 games in Florida, they split them 2-2.
2-2. Okay.
I hate the Cowboys, and maybe I'm being blinded. They're beating the Cowboys at home. I hate the Cowboys. I don't care if you lose the rest of your games. You have to win this one. So maybe I'm being blind. I'm saying they beat the Cowboys at home.
3-2.
3-2. Broncos and Panthers. Are those the next 2 games, I think? Broncos and Panthers?
Yep.
They're winning those games at home, both of them, correct?
No, Denver is in London.
So that's the 3rd loss then. And then they beat Carolina. That's right.
That'd be 4-3.
4-3. And then before
at Cincinnati is the last game before the bye.
So they got to beat Denver. Initially, I had them beating Denver and then losing to Cincy. So if they beat, Denver's on a neutral site is not an unwinnable game. I got to give them both those games in order. I'd say no worse than 4-4, possibly 5-3 at the break.
So Aaron Glenn, you believe, will be the front runner for Coach of the Year at the Jets bye week?
Do you think if they're
5-3 and their win total was
5-3 is
5.5? Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think they will.
Fine. I mean, am I being? Which game did I pick them to win? That's so out of pocket. That's like wild. The Dallas game at home for Dallas. Dallas isn't good. Dallas sucks. Like, what game is like? Did I pick them to win? That's crazy.
I mean, it just doesn't feel likely they're going to win all these games. They're not. I don't think that it's impossible for them to win any of the games. Like, it's not like you're playing at Kansas City and at Baltimore this early and at Buffalo when the game's going to matter to them. You know, you're not playing at Philadelphia. The schedule is not brutal. It's just tough to truly buy in. We don't know what the quarterback and coach are yet.
I mean, we kind of do know what, and I don't think it's that worst thing in the world. We kind of know what Justin Fields is. It's been 4 seasons. Like, we kind of know what.
So if we know what he is, then how are they going 5-3? Because that's not good enough to go 5-3, unless you're telling me Aaron Glenn is like a Mike Tomlin level coach from the beginning, where he can win games with any quarterback and still find a way to be above 500.
Because it just comes out like we looked at this record last year, and it was simply
because we thought we were getting
to execute, right? Like, it wasn't that they were getting blown out early. They just couldn't execute. They couldn't do the things that they were supposed to do that win you football games with a different head coach. And you think their pass rush is going to be better with Johnson back on the end as opposed to Michael Clemens? Do you think the pass rush is going to be better? That changes things again.
But I think what you're forgetting is last year, going into the year, they were coming off a 7-win season in which they had the 32nd ranked offense in the league, and the defense was top 5 in every statistical category. They had a kicker who wasn't just average. He was one of the best in the league. So the thought process was another year in the same scheme. There's continuity. There's less adjustment. They'd be able to hit the ground running like that. You're not factoring that in, that it's a new coaching staff. What if it doesn't click right away? Now, some of the teams they're playing, maybe they start slow, which naturally happens with no more two-a-days and guys not playing in the preseason. Like, Philly was 2-2 last year. Then they didn't lose. They won the Super Bowl. Like, that's what I think you're not factoring in your evaluation, that they can win those games you're outlying. I don't think it'd be the craziest thing in the world for that, just based on the teams they're playing. But I think you're asking a lot of a first-time coach and a very inexperienced offensive coaching staff with a quarterback who has never really put it together yet, has shown you flashes here or there to do that. So that's I think the part that you're not factoring in.
They're going to be a run-heavy team. The offensive line, I don't think the offensive line is good. I think it's very good, which we haven't said as Jet fans in a very long time. Like, the offensive line, if Membu is what we're told he is, the offensive line should be a top 5 to 10 O-line in football.
It better be.
That matters. When we won 7
haven't
games,
done
we
it
had a
yet,
horrible.
It's just names. It's just names right now.
I'm projecting here. I'm playing things
out.
But
I like it because most people are negative. So you want to be optimistic, fine. Like, I'm not telling you you're crazy for this. I'm not staking my. If I'm gonna bet my life, are the Jets more likely to be 5-3 or 3-5? I'm an idiot if I say 5-3.
Just beat Dallas. Just beat Dallas. If they're 3-5 and they beat Dallas, I'm okay.
I know that game matters to you a lot because you live in Dallas. But if I can only pick one game they're gonna win before the bye, the game. If Rodgers is in Pittsburgh, I'd love to win that game just so we don't have to be the butt of every goddamn joke the entire week. And same old Jets. Rodgers comes back to stick it to you. I don't want to deal with that. I'd love to beat Buffalo, and then I'm going to Tampa. So selfishly, I'd like to do a road trip game where we go out there and we actually win and cap off a great weekend with a win for once. So that's where I'm at.
I think the Miami game is more likely to win the Miami game than I'd rather win the Miami game too. But I think it's more likely they beat Miami than they beat Tampa. They've had success with Miami. I think that's a winnable game. But I don't think either of them. It's like crazy to think they could beat Tampa or Miami. Tampa's another team. They play in a weak division and they're going to win 9 games. It's like, that's not a great team. That's a beatable team. Do we beat them on the road? Probably not.
They're all winnable, Gary. It's not like they have. This is not this. And remember, a couple of years ago, they lost Rodgers. Remember what the schedule was? The murderer's row of quarterbacks that the Jets got set up to play. And we're all thinking, wow, the NFL did the Jets no favors with Rodgers coming in. It's going to take time. And they're giving them Mahomes and Prescott on the road. and they're giving them who were the other crazy quarterbacks they played? Like Jalen Hurts and the Eagles came in. Russell Wilson, we thought was still good at that time with Denver. Like they had like this crazy. Josh Allen was week 1. Like it's not that. Like this schedule, at least on paper, is softer than that. It's just first time coach, quarterback on his 3rd team in 3 years. We don't love the weaponry. Like we're relying a lot on some rookies to step in and be good right away based on your 5-3 start. It's a lot to ask for. It is. It's not impossible. It can happen. Look at what Houston did and what Washington did, right? And the Vikings won 14 games out of nowhere last year. But like things happen in the league, but there's a reason why a lot of people don't see it.
I get it. It's the Jets, and like there's no track record of them winning. So if I said to you, I believe the Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina Panthers are going to go 11-5 this year, you would look at me like I'm a little crazy. But the crazier things have happened. I'm not picking the Panthers. I'm just giving it a bad franchise. You don't expect them to win. But like, I don't think the Jets are all that bad. And like, it's not like I said 8-0 or 7-1, 4-3, 4-4, 5-3. Like, I think the Jets are around a 500
4-4 would be great. 4-4 would be awesome. 4-4, you're playing meaningful games in December if you're 4-4. Because the bye week falls on November 2nd. You come out of the bye if you're 4-4, it's November 9th. You're not going to bury yourself in all likelihood by the end of November. So you enter December with a season still intact. You got us through the Yankee World Series championship run, and you got us through the start of the holiday season with the Jets still in it. I'd sign for that right now.
If they can be 4-4, I would take 4-4, but I do think 5-3 is very possible. You go 4-4, after the bye, you're home for Cleveland. That's got to be a win. You got to beat Cleveland at home after a bye week. Like, it's got to be a win. So then you're 5-4.
Especially if that game is like Shedeur Sanders playing and it's a rookie. Like
we
Steve Wilkes.
Quarterback. Yeah.
Steve Wilkes has to put Shedeur in a blender that game. Like that's got to be a dominant win at home.
Do we know who they're? I mean, they've got 5 quarterbacks and they're all terrible. Like, do we know who their quarterback is?
I think Flacco is the favorite to start right away until they make the move to either Shedeur or who's the other guy? Yeah, Gabriel.
Which is, I mean, why would you draft both of them? But that's not really a vote of confidence to either guy. That you're at least the number 2. Like your roster spot's not even secured.
I think the owner got involved. That's why. I don't think they wanted Shedeur. I think they were forced into taking it by the owner. Also, is this the end of your relationship with Allen?
No, it's fine.
Can I give you a piece of advice? End it. You don't want to be associated with a guy that admits publicly that he pleasures himself.
This is it's not a great look, Alan. I'll be honest. I'm trying to defend you here, bro. I am. It's kind of indefensible though.
You know what's funny, Gary? Allen is in a spot where he might have to do the unthinkable right now. You realize what he might have to do, right?
He has to call it and defend himself here. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe not him, but maybe he can hire an attorney that would do it.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer. Trouble, so you better call Bonesy. Ignore the shoes behind him. Those are law books. Those are law books.
Hey,
attorney at law, Bonesy.
You guys were getting in deep to that schedule. It was nice Jets talk. I love it. Gary, your optimism is fantastic, though. I do love it. It you know me. I eventually get on the bandwagon, but I'm not the biggest Justin Fields guy. So when the quarterback isn't who I just got to see it. His health is really the big thing for me with Justin. Like, if he can run,
the defense is going to be better. Do you think the pass rush and the defense is okay? That's a big thing. That's not a little thing.
It's going to be better than last year. Will it be top 5 like it was the previous 2 years? I don't know, but
are they going to lose 4 or 5 games because they can't hit a field goal? I mean, like probably not. I don't even know who their kicker is going to be, but like it can't be like last year. Like kickers like that don't stay in the NFL.
But Justin Fields has to show me that a team could score on us in the fourth quarter and we need a drive, and he could execute it in crunch time without needing to do everything with his legs. Like, Justin's never really shown us like that he could, read the defense and do those type of comeback, clutch moments and make the big reads. And, I don't know.
I don't need him to throw for 30 points a game. I need him to convert some third downs, and I don't care if it's with his legs or his arm. I don't care. Like, just convert third downs, keep the ball in our hands, keep the clock moving. We're going to be a run-heavy team. I don't need you to go out there and light up. I don't need 28 points a game. I don't need 300 yards passing. I just need you to convert some third downs. I don't even care how you do it. Like, if you want to do it with your legs, do it with your legs. My wife's family, they're all Bears fans. They're originally from Chicago. They're big Bears fans. And I've always said to them, like, I would always simp for Justin Fields. Like, he doesn't suck. Like, he doesn't. Now, I guess I got what I wished for, right? Like, now he's my quarterback. He doesn't suck. I got to stick with that. I said it when he was with the Bears, when it meant nothing to me. Like, Justin Fields doesn't suck. He's not a game changer, but he's not Zach Wilson. He's not.
Ignore the thing inside him. That's his finger. That's his finger. So Bonesy, how do you feel about representing Allen if you reached out?
Oh man, I don't know. Those
Allen would never.
Allen would never. That's right. My brother just said Allen would never. So we don't even got to pretend to call this law firm.
Man,
Allen said I'd fail more at hosting the show for you tomorrow than I would law. So that's what kind of belief he has in me. But on that avenue, in that regard, I already talked to my co-host Gator, who I would 100% need behind the scenes, and I did put in a text to my wife just to see if I'd have a nice 2-hour slip tomorrow between 10 and 12. Would you trust me? Would you trust me though?
I think I would trust you. Yeah, I mean, if Gator was there helping you, like Gator knows how to use StreamYard, like he could make it, a show that I think people would enjoy. Sure.
I'd have to do it from the laptop so I can actually.
I'll make like the thumbnail for you guys. Like, you tell me what you want to hit on. It could just be like latest Jets news and just have you guys let it rip.
I think Bonesy, it'd be interesting, right? When WFAN first started, they hired a bunch of professional people. They hired one of the Gumbles. They hired Jim Lampley. Like, it was all professional people, and the ratings weren't great. And then they got like just the lunatic fans, like Francesa and those guys, and they did great because they related to New Yorkers, right? I think Bonesy can do that. I think he can be the irate fan that draws a big number. People like Bonesy. He's obviously impassioned by the Jets and the Knicks. I think it'll work.
So I reached out to Connor Long because that seems to be the popular guy people have suggested. And Connor was very excited, honored. He's not watching the show. He's like, I got to see how this all played out because I told him it was a bit on the show that I'm seriously considering. And he's telling me, he's like, I could see if I could try and skip school tomorrow so I could do both shows. I go, Connor, do not skip school to host my YouTube show.
Hang on. What's more important? A day of school, which he goes to 185 of them or whatever a year, or hosting your show? Like, cut school.
Now, I will provide some context, all right? He doesn't have classes tomorrow. He has field day, which is typically a miserable day for his team. So it's not a true school day, but I don't think we could let him skip school to host a Jets YouTube show in May.
No, I think he's got to skip. School is a crutch for the talentless.
You know what? I'll play along. Expand on that thought, Gary. Go ahead.
Well, like when you're very talented, you don't have to go to school. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James didn't go to college, did they? They went straight to the NBA.
Yeah, but they graduated high school. This kid's in ninth grade.
Whatever. He's talented. I'm not saying drop out of school. I'm saying I'm going to give you a personal example. I was working with this fighter, a little 115 pounder, 112 pounder from San Antonio. He had a meeting with Top Rank when he was 17. He was in 11th grade. He was 17 years old. Okay. And his mom said that he couldn't go to Las Vegas to meet with Top Rank. A year later, he got in a car accident, ruined his career. He's in jail now. But if you just would have went to that meeting, they would have signed him on the spot, and he would have been in Vegas, training in Vegas, away from all the noise, and he would have never gotten legal trouble, and he wouldn't be in jail right now. He'd be an undefeated prospect. But he had to go to school. Like, what was school going to do for him? Like, he's not going to be a lawyer. He's a fighter, right? Like, Connor obviously has a talent.
Right.
An opportunity to host a show in front of 40,000 Jet fans is more important than one day of school. I stand on that.
He's in ninth grade, though, so he could do maybe one of the shows and not have to cut school. Why don't we
All
have?
right, let him do the afternoon show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Let Bonesy host the morning show and give Connor the afternoon show.
As crazy as you are, I don't disagree with the premise. I just think that's not like the best way to apply it in this scenario. Like, I think it would have to be a bigger deal. Like, he could only do the show if he missed school, not that there was an opportunity to still do both, if that makes sense.
If he could go to school, I suppose go to school. If it's an option between hosting this show in front of thousands of passing Jet fans or going to school for a day, host the show. Like, the schoolwork, you ask kids what they learned in school, and what do they say? Nothing, right? Like, and then it's nothing compounded on nothing on nothing on nothing.
I'm with you on
If he
that.
hosted this show, he'll never forget it, and he'll have an audience to grow his own channel. Like, it's a great opportunity for him at 14 years old or whatever he is.
Bonesy, you obviously have children. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, Gary's obviously saying some truth, so I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, my son says that to me every time. How was school? Did you learn anything? No, whatever. Like, he's not the most. I mean, he's a smart kid, but a lot of kids, you know, what you learn in school nowadays, what does it apply to? You know, people say that, especially with like the math. My son's going through some crazy math right now, and it's just like, what is he going to use this for? What are we doing? You know.
So school, is it a crutch for the
college.
talentless? Or should we put that on a shirt?
I graduated from college, and my daughter asked me how you do the PEMDAS math, like with the parentheses and the exponent. I don't know. Go ask your mom. I don't know this at all. Like, I can't even begin to look at this. I graduated. What did you really learn in school? Like, really?
I think he can miss a day of school if the circumstances were fitting or whatever. I don't think it's crazy. Like, I plan on, if I have kids someday, taking like my son. Hopefully it's a son. God, do I not want to deal with a daughter? But that's
you do want to die. I hope God blesses you with a daughter.
No,
Daughters
that is
are the best.
That is an issue for another day. I plan on going to every like opening day every year, making that a thing.
I'm going to end up in jail someday because of my daughter. So, Jake, you are right on cue. It's already you're right. A story for another day. But I definitely will say that, you know, Gary's right about the whole school thing. Sometimes it's a little too much with what they're putting. Even now, they're making math more difficult by making them have to learn different types of formulas that we're different than from us. So I'm like going over my son's homework with him, and I'm just like, why are they making it difficult? They're making it more difficult. It's just making you I don't know. The math is what, and I'm actually, you know, I do all the accounting and stuff for the store, so I'm actually not bad in math. And I'm just like, yo, what do you need this stuff for that you're learning in school?
So a math guy and a lawyer, both brains, both sides of the brain there. It's crazy.
Ignore the shoes. Those law books. Those law books.
Well, Bonesy, be by your phone today because maybe it will be you and Gator hosting the morning show tomorrow, and Connor Long doing the afternoon show tomorrow.
I will be in texting you and trying to confirm that I can actually make this happen. And my brother was like, dude, do you want that like pressure? It's, you know, that's Jake's like, you know, sanctuary there. And I'm like, listen, I know Jake trusts me. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna, you know, obviously this is your livelihood. I'm not messing around here, you know.
Well, what makes my show unique is that it's caller driven. So like the audience knows you guys. It wouldn't be like, it'd be different, but it'd be fun. It'd be something. It's late May. It's if I'm going to miss a day of shows, this is the time to do it. You know, I've never missed any shows during football season ever.
And with Gator behind me, he'd be probably carrying me through the show, doing all the ins and outs of, because my laptop, but still, it would still be a fantastic show. I could guarantee that. I'll do my homework. You know what I mean? It'll be fun.
So Black Gypsy says that you're going to come on naked. You're not going to do that. You can confirm.
Yeah, I can confirm. I will not be showing any, unless it's some. What was the word for skin? Epidermis that we didn't know for skin. Remember that somebody was trying to stunt you with epidermis.
Yeah, it's a tough one. All right.
I will say though, I just want to give Beast a shout out because that's my new dog. It's funny how I literally almost wanted to stop watching for a little bit during a lull moment because Beast was on too much, and I was like, dude, I can't take Beast.
That was before he got better internet.
That was before he got better internet, but I have been talking to Beast, probably every day that I work.
Did he call the store yet today?
Of course, we already talked this morning. He told me he was going to shoot some pool, and he gave me some updates on what's going on. And I gotta say, man, he's growing on me so much. I'm rooting for him. Beast is my guy. The haircut's a little, too wrestling all in for me, but Beast has a good heart, and if we just accept him for who he is and understand what his limitations are and who he is as a man, he's a good dude. He has the mind of a young guy, but he's a great guy. He really is. I do love Beast, and I'm behind Beast now. I am a big Beast guy.
Are you concerned that? I mean, Bonesy.
What was this guy's deal? I don't ever want to hear from this guy again. What
$50, $50, Bonesy. I mean, that's some law money right there for your services that he just spent.
$50 to Beast is like $5,000 to us. So give me some credit.
To do this. Yeah.
For literally, putting his money out there that he really doesn't have that much money on. He did that for us. So that is another good deed by the Beast, man. He came through in a great
real
spot.
or did someone put this money? Did he really give the $50? Like this came out of his pocket to the best that you know?
He's been saving up $50 because he wanted to gift memberships to everyone. He mentioned it before. He was going to gift. He thought he doesn't even understand it really, but he thought he could choose who he could gift to. He doesn't even really understand how it works, but he wanted to gift memberships. But then when he saw this opportunity, it's not like I wasn't even on last. I missed yesterday's show because I had my son's baseball game, but I missed the afternoon show with the recap, but he did that just because it was like the guy was bothering him in the moment, and then it really captured the fans. And I hope you guys realize that Beast really, because we really give Beast a lot of shit, and we gotta think like in who he is and what's going on for him to be able to just like deflect all the fat jokes and take all the heat we give him and still be himself. Like you got to give the man credit.
That's a touching thing. He saved up his $50 to spend it on your show, Jake. Like that's
I know. Well,
that's devotion right there.
He will be refunded. Now, Bones, this Beast doesn't have Venmo, PayPal. Didn't quite understand when I said, "What if I write you a check?" That I don't even know what he wrote back to that. It didn't make much sense. So I'm like, all right, I'll put $50 cash in an envelope and mail it to you. So that's how we will make sure Beast gets refunded. But I'm a little nervous about even doing that. So we'll figure something out.
Why are you refunding him? He's a grown man. He made this in. That's what he wanted to do with his
because it's a very nice gesture, and we have a big fella, on the show yesterday said if Jason says "F you, Allen," he'll throw $50, and I'm like, I'll take that money and send it to Beasts, and I'm a man of my word.
All right.
Are we done here, gentlemen? We covered a lot.
I want to just on the Knicks. I do think the Knicks will win tonight. I think they'll lose in 6, but I don't think the Knicks are going to lose at home. I don't think their season ends at home. I think they'll win tonight. I think they'll win by at least 10 too. Not that they're going to blow them out by 30 like last night in OKC, but I think the Knicks win by at least 10. I think they win comfortably.
We need
today,
Bridges
game 6.
to step it up. And since Gary's on, I'll say it.
Hell yeah,
we need Bridges,
terrible.
We need Bridges to hit some big shots, even if it's in the second quarter. He always comes to play in the fourth, I believe, but we drew up those 2 plays in the fourth for Bridges last game, and it sunk us. And I can't even listen to some of these announcers like BT Turney talking about Jalen Brunson. It's like, guys, shut up.
Just ignore it. Ignore it, man. They flip flop every day. It's hot take radio. Stop it.
Terrible. It's terrible.
They're in the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. Like, we don't need to overthink this. Indiana's played better to this point. It happens. Like, we don't need to do this group think on everything wrong with the Knicks. Like, I got news for you. They're going to be one of the favorites to be back here next year with Boston not having Tatum and the East in flux, especially if Giannis gets traded to the West.
Oh yeah. Well, go Knicks. I don't want to die on at the Garden. I really don't want to watch them celebrate.
They will lose. They're not going to. The season will not end on the Garden. I'd be very surprised. Just like I told Jake that they beat the Celtics by 30 in that elimination game, they'll win tonight. The Knicks will win tonight. They'll lose in Game 6 in Indiana, but they'll win tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bonesy and Gary 3D Boxing. What a moment in time. A couple quick super chats here. We are up against it, but there are two people on the line that we need to get on this show, and I still got to do the raffle as well. This day is getting away from me quick. That's what happens when you're having fun. Kyle Clifton with a great point earlier. If I'm Beast, I'm not hanging in pool halls. That's where sketchy characters like Beasley thrive. Great point. Kyle got you down for 2. Party with Peg and Artie says, this side of Gary's awesome. Very achieving. Gary talking about Connor Long and the school debate. I think that was a nice W for Gary. Well done. Kevin is in our daily raffle at the end of the show for 5. This is your last chance to get in. I'm giving away this card, signed Brees Hall trading card, and this swag pack with the card. If you win the raffle, Kevin is in for 5. And let me see if I can get the names real quick. I can. Thank you, Kevin. Victory Monday, Don Reck, 203 Grinch, Sean Weedle, Michael Petagrosa, all receiving channel memberships. Appreciate you, Kevin, for your generous support. Philly Noodles with a super chat. Allen's finger is still up. 6 rings enhances his take. Tough to argue with that. All right, this guy's been on a hold for a while. I apologize we couldn't get him in, but madness broke out. Izzy's up next. What's up, Izzy?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been watching the show for a minute, probably since before, like right as they were about to sign Aaron Rodgers. I had to find a Jets YouTube channel to kind of keep up with everything. So yeah, I've been here for a minute, man. I'm just in the background watching everybody. It's awesome.
First time caller?
My first time was during the draft when we drafted Malachi Corley. That was my first time calling.
Wow, where you been, man? You got to call him more.
I know, man. Just my first time getting the computer up and running. So last time was on my phone. Now I'm on my computer, so I can actually like sit here and have a conversation. I see Charles Gorman's waiting too, so I don't want to be here too long. But I'm rocking the old Quincy Williams jersey right here. So I just wanted to pop in and say, hey, I also, I'm not a big basketball fan, but when I did watch it, it was around like the Stephon Marbury era, and I was a Knicks fan, so I've been keeping up with the series right now. So I hope we can pull something out, but it's not looking too good right now.
Love it, Izzy. I mean, one great call, love the jersey, and I mean it's good karma for the Jets that the Knicks have seemingly turned things around and are a title contender now, because the Knicks didn't change ownership. They just hired the right people, and they finally got it right. And hopefully the Jets do the same thing.
Yeah, man, I love Aaron Glenn, man. I think this is it's a good step for our organization. I mean, I like Robert Saleh too, honestly, but I don't think he hired the right people around him. And I think that, kind of just all domino effect down the line. But Aaron Glenn, I like his staff. I like what he's doing. And he's an old Jet, so all the Jets now probably look up to him as a real cool guy. So I'm hoping we'll do good this year. I got my kids their Jets jerseys. Got one Sauce, one Garrett. So my oldest said he wants a Jermaine Johnson jersey, so I got to get him that one.
Really? Love it. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, reach out to me. I'll send you a link where you can get it for pretty cheap. All right.
Nice, man. I appreciate that. Absolutely.
Also, so send me an email with that, and send me your t-shirt size. You've been a longtime viewer of the show. I want to send you a merch item as well. Send me your t-shirt size. All right.
Oh, snap. That's awesome.
And your address, address, t-shirt size, and I'll send you the link for the cheaper Jermaine jersey.
Okay, awesome, man. That's through. You want me to email you through like Instagram or something?
You could, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. AsmanJake@gmail is probably the quickest way, though. Just shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the private chat. It's also in the description for the video. It's just AsmanJake@gmail.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm gonna try to be a more regular caller, man. I like to be part of the community, man. Y'all are awesome, and I'm gonna let Charles Gorman take it over now.
I appreciate it, Izzy. Thank you. Unfortunately, Charles Gorman dropped off the line, though. Dun, dun, dun. I was prepared to go to Gorman. Izzy's not wrong. He was on hold. But unfortunately, Gorman is not on the line. So while I can't give you Gorman, I could still do two things. The first, I could play this.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
The second is bring on Gorman's chaperone. Nick Shine joins us to close out the program. Hello, Nick.
How are you, buddy? Couple things. That Patriots fan. Can you bring up the picture of that him with that jersey?
Yes, I can. Stand by.
And here's why. Is Is that a ladies' jersey with the arms like that? I've never seen a man's jersey with that. Usually the jerseys hang loose.
Interesting. Oh, the actual like player jerseys are like that because they have the pads, so it holds the pads in better if it's tighter. You see that, but
I've never
that's the only
seen
thing I can think of.
a
Like, is it
man
truly
like you see the
authentic?
Brady jersey behind him on the wall. The sleeves just hang on men's jerseys. Is
Yeah.
this a little cut tight female jersey?
It's a good point.
It would make sense for a Patriots fan to wear one, right? Maybe that's part of the initiation.
Very on brand. Let's ask Alan. He has jerseys like this. You might know. He's a closet Patriots fan.
I've seen many people with authentic jerseys. I've never seen one with a ribbed sleeve.
It's a fair point. Maybe it is a woman's jersey.
Interesting.
Now, what's your take on Pleasuregate?
I mean, to each its own, right? We have a little bit of a Pleasuregate story that broke on the show last night.
What time did your show end last night?
Like 2.
Jeez.
Bobby Midnight made a return last night, late. After
Really?
an 8-day hiatus, he popped into the show, and he swore he's doing the show today.
What's he been doing? Nothing?
We have a bet. Gary and I have a bet. What would happen first? Juan Soto gets another hit, or Bobby does a show. So it's been a very, very tense couple days waiting for both to happen.
I see.
And what we've been doing is if you gift 5 memberships, there's like a multiplier wheel. And jokingly, I put Nate Handy on there for Nate to have to give someone a handy. And
Hey, now.
this guy and the guy Jake, it came out. So Nate owes him. It was a lot of fun. If you go to like an hour 28 of the show, that hit and it just pure chaos after that. But Nate didn't say no. It's on the wheel. It's got to happen, man. He's a trooper in the community. He said he'll do it with gloves and shards of glass on it, but he said he'll still do it.
Nate.
Calm your freaky down.
Weirdo. God, him and Alan should hang out.
Yeah, but hey, whatever Alan likes, man. Like, who are we to judge? There's a lot worse things you could be out there. You could be a Patriots fan.
It's true.
How's Charles? He didn't click in. I know he's
was on
over
hold.
at the apartment now. He
called
was
in
there.
yesterday, but he was at Costco. I don't know if you saw the afternoon show. He was walking around Costco being Charles Gorman.
Nice.
Also, Connor
Yeah.
Long is in the chat. He says, I got to get back to stupid notes in music class. Appreciate you all. Can't wait for tomorrow. Connor will co-host the afternoon stream tomorrow. That is the intention right now because I am unavailable next 2 days, taking 2 days off. Probably will do a show Sunday when I get done with radio. If not, we're back at it Monday. So we need a guest host. And Connor Long is scheduled to be one of them. It all came about on the fly during today's show.
I know Gator works. If you need help with someone producing in the morning show, I can do that. If Gator's not available for the whole thing, I can. help.
You and Bones, you want to host it?
I'll rock with Bonesy. Hell yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, I could do the back end stuff, and if he needs to call me in, he can call me in. But just from the StreamYard aspect of it, I can run the show for him and let him cook.
I like it. There's some potential here. We'll work on this.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Nick Shine and Bonesy potentially doing the morning stream just like that.
Boom.
10 a.m. You could do a show, normal time?
Yeah.
All
Well, it's
right.
not normal for me. I'm a late night guy, but
That's
I'll
what I'm saying,
set
yeah.
the alarm, Jake. I'll set the alarm for you.
All right. Pat Mag.
Let me know. We'll talk later in the day.
He doesn't want you to do
Oh,
it.
that's
Well,
Oscar, one of Oscar's burners. So.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, he got mad because he left the Discord, so now he just goes under different accounts. The guy pretending to be a Muppet, pretending to be another guy, pretending to be a guy's shirt. Like, yeah, there's no mental issues there at all.
Interesting take there.
Thank you.
Nick, thanks for the time. And maybe we will see you on this show as a host tomorrow morning.
Yeah, if not, like I said, I'll run in the background. Let Bonesy do his thing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Whatever
Nick
you need.
Shine.
You get the fuck out.
One of the greats. We will work on that. I'll be back this afternoon, 3:45 4-ish. Nick Faria live from Jets OTAs. We had Steve Wilkes speak this morning. Jets are on the practice field right now. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Let's do our raffle now, shall we? We're giving away a signed Brees Hall trading card. It is a daily raffle prize. I am going to put all the names on the wheel. And when we come back, I will then spin said wheel and we will pick a winner. of the Brees Hall card and the prize pack that comes with it. Is everyone clear? Yes? Great. Quick break, and then, ladies and gentlemen, it will officially be raffle time.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Mr. Gorman?
Just say hello, Mom. You're in the mood today. Mom's
How's the
making
mood
a
going?
macaroni salad, potato salad, and also egg salad, right, Mama? No.
Charles, what happened to your neck?
Oh, I shaved.
Charles, you're bleeding.
No, I
Wow.
stopped the bleeding. I put the healing stick on it. Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Charles, go take a shower. Wash that off, pal.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Stop bleeding. Stopped.
Looks great, Charles. You got it all. Perfect. Well done. There you go. Don't move.
Yeah, no. Leave your neck down. Go like this.
Charles, stop, man.
Was OJ at your new apartment? What really happened?
It bled a lot, but I stopped it with the healing stick.
Nate says he just called the Woodbridge police and they're going to be over in 3 minutes.
I'm not bleeding, guys. It's
Charles,
stopped.
stop showing it.
I actually have shaved my peeps in the past, but that's another story.
What does your mom think of this? Go ask her.
I did not shave with a Rambo knife.
Charles Gorman, First Blood.
Get the movie posters ready. Here we go. Coming to theaters this summer. Charles First Blood in theaters. July 1st. This is just too funny. Genergy says, go clean yourself up. She's a lady telling you this.
Fine, I'll clean up. I'll call back later.
Charles Gorman stars in Platoon. Looks like you got shot, Charles.
Are you done?
What do you mean, you people?
Mrs. Clifton watching alongside me on the smart TV, and she's troubled by Charles's wound.
Charles, you'll do something in 2 weeks that makes us totally forget about this shit.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Charles, a week ago, you called into a show taking a dump.
Totally forgot about it.
So you'll one up this. I'm not worried. It's what the greats do.
Mom, do everything rubbing alcohol? Found it. Let's sing right now.
What'd you do with the shirt? Throw it in the garbage?
Do it in the dirty.
No, you gotta take the blood off of it. Put my clothes.
I didn't put it down on the floor.
Well, rinse it out upstairs in the sink so all the blood comes out of it.
I don't care for that movie. Oh my God, you guys are unbelievable.
One more movie that Charles is starring in, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never change, Charles. The Charles Gorman, folks. One of the greats. Ladies and gentlemen, it's raffle time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
A daily raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, we give away right now a signed Brees Hall trading card. Music, please. Here we go. All the names have been entered, including the people who signed up for the year on Patreon during this show. You're entered in for 10. And now we find out who wins the signed Brees Hall card. And the winner is Asmaniac Bo C. Bo C. You're a world champion, baby. Brees Hall trading card coming at you. It'll be mailed out later today. Congrats to Bo. If you entered for the Brees card, you're in for the main raffle, which of course features the grand prize of a Walt Clyde Frazier Knicks jersey, signed by Clyde himself, signed Joe Namath jersey, and a signed CJ Mosley jersey. So thank you to everyone who participated. There'll be more chances for daily prizes. In fact, you know what? Maybe I'll do another daily raffle this afternoon. How about we give away a signed jersey this afternoon? Be on the lookout for that. I'll see what I can come up with. On that note, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Jets OTAs open for the media. So big show this afternoon recapping what went down on the field. Until then, I will talk to you guys soon. Go Knicks tonight. Keep the season alive and don't get beat at Madison Square Garden. Period. End of story. Don't let them celebrate on your home floor. I'll talk to you guys soon. Go Jets, everybody.
Having some barbecue chips. Nope, I'm your lips.
What's up, Charles? Oh yeah, take us around. Let me see.
This is my table. This is my fridge. This is my my bed stuff, but I had to get a new mattress. This is the couch I've been sleeping on. This is my television, my cable, my Xbox, my rich one. That was toilet paper. I saw that.
I don't know what you're talking about. little bit of corn. But hey, congratulations on the house. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll call back. I'll be back.
All right, no problem.
Rejected. Sorry.